What's going on, everybody? And welcome to another edition of the Bare Minimum with 4 Star Chicago Sports. I am Bears on Baron Duplessis. That is the crafty Dustin Jones. Dustin, how you feeling tonight?
I'm great, man. I'm feeling good. I'm excited. I'm excited about the show.
Me too, man. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff, guys. This show is jam-packed. We obviously want to preview that Bears-Bills game. We want to dive a little bit more into Caleb Williams, and we're going to rank our quarterbacks just completely on the spot, guys. Just the same way we do.
Organically, yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of talk it out and see where we think these people rank worst
Yeah, and
first.
we did this with the power rankings of the teams in their entirety, and I thought our list was pretty good, man. Like honestly, even when I think we revisited it like 2 weeks later, and I still thought it was pretty accurate, even after all the camp reports and stuff. So yeah, guys, we're gonna do all.
I think
of that.
everything we do is pretty awesome. So,
well, yeah, I mean, I don't want to be the one to say it, but all that and more, guys, after this. What's going on, Bears Nation, guys? Thank you again for joining us on the Bare Minimum. Me and Dustin are just going to basically talk some shit for the next 2 hours.
Ant Mass checking in already. First,
yeah, I
to
saw
check
that, man.
in.
Ant Mass,
Yeah.
it is good to hear from you, brother. I know. I feel like because we do this show so late, Ant Mass, I feel like we see you for a minute or two, and then I don't really hear. I think you're probably going to bed, is my guess, and I completely understand that. But we appreciate your loyalty as always and sneaking in here whenever you can, man. But yeah, I missed the conversations, man. So hopefully we could shift for the majority of the show tonight. Dustin, the first thing that I think we should do, I guess, okay, is we're gonna.
Let me do one thing. Let me do one thing real quick before we start.
Go ahead, yeah, do your thing, man.
Happy anniversary to my beautiful wife. Happy birthday to my beautiful wife. 4 years anniversary. She's, the love of my life, and I just want to shout her out and say thanks for letting me do the show tonight. I wanted to get it in. I wasn't able to get in with you guys on Monday because some other stuff that had popped up. So yeah, love you, baby.
Yeah, for sure. I wished her a happy birthday earlier today. No doubt. I hope she had a good day, man. I know.
Yeah, you wish everybody a happy birthday on Facebook though, so it don't really mean shit. Just so you know, you be wishing people a happy birthday that you never met.
I mean, I don't, but
yeah, I mean, just Facebook just does it for you. You got it on auto send.
I just at everyone with a happy birthday message, and it's public, so everybody in the world gets my happy. I wish I had that power. Dustin, you said you want to kick it off,
but thank you. Seriously, I'm just giving you shit.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. I hope she had a good day. That's pretty crazy. Your anniversary and her birthday fall on the same day. But I want to get into some Bears and Bills right now, man. You said you want to kick that off first, and there's obviously some conversations specifically inside of that game that I want to talk about. But the game overall, man, it seems like
this is Brandon, you look so fucking tired.
I am tired, man. But
let's get it going. Let's get the energy up in this motherfucker.
This is going to be the first time that we see. Well, I'm excited, man, especially to talk about this game because of what I'm about to say. This is the first time we're going to see the Bears, Chicago Bears, potential starters playing any kind of real action against an NFL squad. Dustin, how much do you think the starters are going to play in this game? That's the question that I'm reading on every media source.
I mean, series or two. Nothing crazy. And I don't give a shit about preseason, to be honest. I don't think it holds much weight. I mean, it's good to see them out there, but, everybody was freaking out last week because the starters didn't play. And it's like, I mean, there's different coaches that approach it different ways. There's nothing that the team can do in a preseason game, in my mind, that's going to come out and be like, they're going to come out and I'm going to be like, oh, my God, this team is going to make the playoffs this year. And there's nothing that they can do where I'm like, oh, my God, this team's going to fucking suck this year. It's the preseason. They're not running like more real offense.
More importantly, it's not like, let's say the Bears are like 1-5 to start the season. It's not like anybody's going to realistically think like, if they had only played that preseason, I mean, it's like
no, but that's the thing. People
not,
will say that shit, Brandon. That if the
yeah.
Bears start
Well,
off rough, that it'll
not
go back
anybody
to Ben
who's
not getting them
grounded in
enough reps in the
reality.
preseason.
But yeah, there's
I
always
had this question for you because talking about this, and I was thinking about this last week when they didn't play their starters. Like this week, it's a standalone game. It's a Sunday night game. If the Bears, specifically the offense, I mean, the defense is looking good by all reports, and I think they are going to be a really solid unit this year with Dennis Allen as their defensive coordinator. But the offense is what everybody's going to be looking at. Now, this is my question to you and everybody in the chat. The Bears come out on Sunday, and that offense looks like shit. What are you going to do? Because this goes to that overreaction thing, right? Like, Brandon, are you going to freak out if Caleb Williams looks like shit? Because you know Colin Cowherd's going to be on his show on Monday talking about how bad Caleb has been, how bad this offseason has been for him. Like, is that a pile-on moment for Bears fans? Does the sky falling?
I mean, I'm going to tell you this: if he comes out and shits the bed on national television preseason, or you might not care about the preseason, Dustin, but
I don't.
Colin Cowherd is not going to be the only. Every media source in the country is going to be jumping on the Caleb is a bus train. And no, if it happens, so I guess we can just talk about this now, Dustin, because it makes sense in context of this conversation. As you know, we had Brendan, I think Sugrue was his name, the guy who was Sugrue, Brandon Sugrue. There it is, yeah. Who was on our show. He was on 4-Star Chicago Sports last night, guys. In case you missed it, go check it out. He joined Kyle, Jay, and Sean for the Barely There podcast. It was a really good interview. I was really proud of the guys and the questions they asked, because like honestly, a lot of those were the questions I probably would have, the same questions I would have had for somebody who's a little more inside camp. But yeah, he said this about Caleb Williams when he was talking about the critique that he's been getting, and probably him more than most quarterbacks. He said, "This is the worst Caleb you're gonna see."
Brian Morgan is back with us, the Vikings fan. What up, brother? Thanks for being
What's going on, Brian? What's going on, John? What's going on, everybody, guys? We appreciate you joining us, man. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out late. Dustin, those words stuck with me, honestly. And you know what I mean? Like, there's things that you hear and featured interview with any kind of guest on a podcast, but like, that stuck with me, man, not just being our show and all. This is the worst Caleb you're going to see. So it's like, why are we ever defending anything that anyone says about Caleb Williams? We've allowed ourselves, you remember we talked about he kind of started to defend himself on the missing the net when asked that question, like what happened with
missing Brandon, I know. Yeah.
We're doing that as fans. I feel like I find us often having these debates where you're defending like why Caleb Williams isn't a bust, but it's like,
what has he done to show that he's a bust? I mean, there's a lot of people that want to jump on that train, man, because it's trendy
because there's a lot of people that disliked him when he was drafted.
And I don't even know if it's about that. It's just like there's so much unknown with Caleb this season, because last season he went through so much turmoil and he didn't look great at times. So you still don't know if he's that. And he was the number one pick, and he's a generational guy. So like you still don't know. And then there's a lot of unknown this season already with a new offensive coordinator, new head coach, new game plan, new system, all that. So it's like there's a lot to not know. So it's easy to just say, oh, he's not looking good, or he's looking great. Like you can jump on either side of it and not really know, but you can take. It's just like with JJ McCarthy. You can say JJ McCarthy's going to be the next Joe Burrow, or you can say JJ McCarthy's going to be a fucking bust. And like you could be right on either one right now, and nobody really gives a shit about how their takes look 6 months from now because they're trying to get clicks now. You know what I'm saying? So like that's what's happening. They're jumping on him, man. But I don't feel the need to defend him. I personally don't.
I think it's important that Bears fans know that, I mean, most likely Caleb Williams learning this
What's up, Carl?
This version of Caleb Williams that we're seeing in these highlights and whatever they're doing, you know what I mean? This is probably the worst we're going to see. It's worse it's going to be. Because this guy, if you think Caleb is the guy that you think he is, he's going to just get better from here, right? That's the idea. So when you hear all these reports in camp and all these people like, oh, I knew this guy sucked, and they're like really honestly reading into this shit, it's like, if this is the worst Caleb Williams you're going to see, then the sky is the fucking limit. Because I'm not seeing things in camp, man, like like the video you showed me yesterday. You know what I mean? With Justin Fields or some of the videos I've seen, JJ McCarthy videos. Like Caleb missed
Well,
on a net drill. These guys are throwing multiple interceptions and airing receivers. And I mean, that Jets tape, man, the receivers were frustrated. Like,
I think a part that plays into it is how protective the Bears have been of Caleb Williams and what does get out. I think that's a part of it too. So it's like if they're only letting us see like the mostly good and then some bad shit happens, is like and then that gets out. It's like it, it's something that's there to jump on, and then not playing him in that first preseason game. A lot of people called that out as Ben Johnson protecting Caleb, that he's not ready and he doesn't want to put that out there for people to see because of how it will be received and jumped on the way these things have been. So it's like I don't know, man. I think it makes sense that this is the worst. I think that comment makes total sense. Like Caleb Williams is still in the very early process of picking up Ben Johnson's offense. Ben Johnson has said himself, and I've been saying this for months, man. Like Ben Johnson's going to throw the kitchen sink at Caleb Williams, and that's what he's doing. And Caleb Williams is trying to wrap his head around a lot right now. And yeah, it should only get better as they pare this thing down and start working it towards his strengths. When Ben Johnson says he's going to build an offense around Caleb Williams and his strengths, I 100% believe that. And I don't believe that that's going to be everything we're seeing right now. I think they're going to simplify the shit a lot more for him going into the regular season to try to be successful in game. Whatever happens right now in the preseason or in training camp, that is practice. That I don't hold that against anyone. I'm not holding it against JJ McCarthy, who I've thought is a bust this entire time. JJ McCarthy could come out and prove me wrong, and I'm not holding it against Caleb Williams. Like he's learning. He's gonna make mistakes. That's what the coach wants, so that they can have coaching moments. So I don't know. I think again, it's just the hot take mentality, man. To me, at the end of the day. We don't know what's going to happen with Caleb Williams. We really don't. Everybody wants to pretend they do.
But I mean,
I think Caleb Williams is a damn good quarterback.
Right.
And it is
So
very fair to say he is in the
is
very early process of learning this
Yes.
offense. So that's going to take some time. And if he is the player we think he is, he should slowly get better. Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I don't know.
Carl,
like I
we're
said,
going to get into QB rankings a little later. So if you got something you want to send our way, man, I mean, we can check it out. Yeah, I mean, we appreciate you being here. Thanks for being here. Hit that like button if you have not already. But yeah, whatever you want to get into, Carl, if you got something to share with us, we'll check it out.
I didn't see what he said.
He says he dropped it in chat. Okay. So in terms of what you're talking about, Brandon, like Caleb Williams could come out this Sunday and look like shit. That is a possibility. He could come out and throw an interception, play one series, and end it with an interception. He could come out and end it with and have one series where he ends it with an interception. Ben Johnson wants him to go back out there and figure some shit out for one more series, and maybe he plays a little better. But you'll have the good and you'll have the bad. I don't think that anyone should overreact one way or the other, but I do believe that it is a possibility this offense comes out and with everything that they've been working on and them not being ready potentially, that you could see some stuff you don't want to see as a Bears fan, but don't overreact to it. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't think that it's going to mean that this offense is not going to be good because Caleb Williams does not look great in these first couple series he gets. And that's what it'll be. It'll be 2 series max, right? So it's not a lot of time to show anything, and you're not really working on anything that you're going to be showing in the regular season. But the possibility is there, Brandon. So like, what are we going to do if they come out and they look like shit? Are we going to freak out? I don't think we should, but I
wrote a piece on this on preseason and the Ben Johnson approach, and like, listen, man, it's just Caleb Williams is going to look. The realistic likelihood is that he's going to look better than good, or I mean, worse than good. You know what I mean? Like Caleb's going to come out in that game, and he is going to make mistakes, and even if it's not interceptions, Dustin, things that the general football fan can notice, all of it's going to be off. I would imagine, man. This is the first time these guys are ever actually touching a real football field against real defenders, and they've had some tough practices. That being said, but playing against an actual other NFL team, I don't. It's at the time. Like they had like 9 pre-snap penalties in their. You know what I mean?
That's what
The
I'm going to be looking
expectation
at,
that this
Brandon.
stuff is cleaned up by Sunday when they're doing it today is less likely.
That's what I'm looking for, Brandon. The pre-snap, can they just avoid the negative plays before they even snap the fucking ball? If you're seeing a lot of that stuff, that's going to be very discouraging to me, because all we keep hearing about is how much this coaching staff is about discipline and accountability and execution. And if they don't come out and execute on that first drive that they come out and just it looks smooth and they look professional, that's what's going to concern me more than anything. And as I said last week, Brandon, going into that preseason game against the Dolphins, I still feel the same way here. These joint practices tomorrow are going to show you more than the game. And we said going into that last preseason game, these joint practices, we want to see the Bears come out and physically dominate the Miami Dolphins. And that's exactly what they fucking did. That's exactly what they did, right? They did exactly what we said we needed to see to feel confident. So that's the stuff I'm looking for. Is the culture being instilled? And is it taking? And it seems like it is. So that's what I want to see tomorrow. I think the Bills, knowing how the Bears came out against the Dolphins last week in that joint practice, I think the Bills are going to come with their asses on fire, man. And this is a playoff team.
Yeah, it's a Sean McDermott team.
Yeah, they're going to come ready to fuck it. They're not going to just be bullied like the Dolphins were. So like that's what I'm more interested to see. The level of intensity at this joint practice tomorrow. And if the Bears can match what the Bills bring, because the Bills are going to come fucking hard, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the Dolphins did as well. I think they did, Dustin. I mean,
no,
obviously,
I don't think so.
Yeah, it was reported actually by their own beat writers that they just got outplayed.
They weren't ready for the physicality of the Bears.
Well, and they're just not gonna be all year. So like it's kind of what I expect the Dolphins to be. So there's no surprise there. But yeah, for sure, this Bill team is just a better team. They're a better team. And no matter how hard they decide to come, Josh Allen's Josh Allen. That defense definitely has been improved, if you ask me. I don't know. We have to see the results on the field, but I like Landon Jackson a lot. I think he's going to be an impact player on that football team. So, yeah, I mean, actually, I think he's actually out. He's probably not going to play on Sunday.
Okay. Either way, the Bills are going
to. He went on the PUP list, as you would call it.
Either way, the PUP. Either way, the Bills are going to come hard, and I just want to see the Bears match that intensity tomorrow. If that happens, everything else that happens the rest of the weekend for this preseason game, that's like icing on the cake if they perform well in that preseason game. And you do want to see that their installs and that their practicing and preparation leading up to a game show some positive results. So yes, Brandon, I'm going to be looking at how does Caleb handle the huddle? How does Caleb handle the motions and the pre-snap stuff?
That's what Kyle said on last night's show.
I didn't catch that, but that's what I'm looking for 100%. You know, like that's really my main focus is the preparation leading to execution, because that's what we're banking on this season as Bears fan, that this coaching staff is turning this shit around, and that's what shows that to me.
And some comfortability, you know what I mean, on Caleb's side, because there's going to be a lot of things to reflect coaching, especially obviously in how well prepared the players are, but on Caleb's side, how comfortable is he with it? Not how much does he know, is he comfortable with it yet? You know what I mean? Is he staying inside the pocket? Is he trusting an offensive line? Does he not have the mentality, Dustin, to do the thing that he loves to do most? You know what I mean?
You don't got to win the game with one
throw. Get the fuck out of there. He's going to run out of it. You know what I mean? Extending it. Is he comfortable with not extending a play if it doesn't need be? You know what I mean?
It's going to be very interesting to see, man.
The snap and throw stuff, man. The snap and throw stuff. Just haven't seen a whole lot of that from the heavy play action, the snap, the quick release, get the guys in the middle of the field. Ben schemes them open, you know.
Get the ball out of your hands quickly, play within the timing of the offense.
Yes. I want to see Caleb hold the ball in this preseason game. If he plays, we do not want this. You don't want this kid injured. I want to see him hold the ball for like a second and a half, man.
Yeah, man. Because if you're talking about what's the biggest concern with Caleb, and we keep going back to it, is holding that ball too long. Right. So like if you see that again on Sunday
of Caleb, because that national media is saying that a lot. And
if you see that again on Sunday, man, after Ben Johnson spent, I almost call him Ben Jesus. After Ben Johnson has been preaching to him all off season that you just got to play within the offense and get rid of that ball. Like, that's been Ben Johnson's focus. If you see it in this game, then that's just a habit that Caleb has that's clearly a lot harder to coach out of him than we expected. that becomes concerning as well.
And I mean, Dustin, couldn't you? It would be easy to see it that he is. You know what I mean? It's so plausible because that's got to be.
Well,
I
that
mean,
happens with
that's
players in the NFL at the
well, it's
quarterback
just
position
first
often.
nature for him because he's always. I mean, guys, that USC offensive line was egregious. Then he went to the Bears. I mean, this guy has played the majority of his career running for his life in order to make plays. So that's like it takes a whole level of trust for the five guys in front of you, and who knows how that's going to look. You know what I mean on Sunday. So you still got to see it, but you got to see Caleb stay inside the pocket and release the ball quickly, man. So we'll
Stay
see
within the offense. Razzle says it's going to happen. They're going to go through the roof, and referring to the fans and the media if the Bears come out and stumble on Sunday. And again, you're talking about a team that's had the same operation for many years with the Bills under McDermott. Like they know what they're doing, and they have the stability at the quarterback and with the offense and everything. So like this is going to be a good barometer for how prepared the Bears actually are under this new and improved coaching staff, seeing how they match intensity and how they execute, this tomorrow and how they execute on Sunday, man. That's really what I'm looking for. Do you bring the intensity to the level that the Bills do? Because if you do, you might not have as much talent as the Bills, but that shows me something, that's what I'm looking for.
But I mean, the Bears have a lot of new pieces on offer, but I mean, this Bills team was pretty bad last year, so I'm sure the Bills want to see what their defense is worth in at least the few drives they play in this game.
This Bills team was pretty bad last year. What
the defense?
Oh, okay, you said team, so they were.
Oh, sorry, the defense was just not good. So
in the AFC Championship,
hopefully the Bears can show you something. I mean, I'm not talking about like Caleb throwing 50-yard TDs. I'm talking about like. They a 20-yard pass to close, like one of these young kids, these new guys, man, against the Bills defense that was struggled pretty heavily in defending the pass last season.
The Bills went out this offseason and worked really hard to improve that defense. I made this point.
They didn't really do anything on offense, man.
And I made this point that like the Bears were basically the biggest. They gave the biggest assist to the Bills in doing it and trading back with them multiple times in the draft to let them get these defensive players.
Joshua Palmer, and there was there any other major addition on the?
I mean, not that comes to mind, but they did just re-sign James Cook, right, and gave him that extension, and so they've what they've done this offseason, but Brandon, with the Bills is really just kind of maintain continuity with they've re-signed a lot of players this offseason that were already on this roster that were big parts of that team and its success. And they went into the draft and really tried to address the defense. The Bears helped them an awful lot with that. If this defense turns around, you're going to be looking back and saying, wow, the Bears making those trade backs with them, that really helped this team become a Super Bowl team.
Well, and honestly, I thought some of the players they drafted, like I said, I like Landon Jackson a lot. I thought some of the players they drafted on the defensive side of the ball are players that are going to impact that football team as early as this year. So, I mean, the Bears definitely load them up with higher picks, but I mean, more power to them, man. I like the Bills. I like Josh Allen. I hope that it's not the same old Chiefs, Ravens, and all those guys. I hope these guys are playing for a champ, like actually playing in a championship soon. But, yeah,
the James Cook thing,
and you mentioned the retaining, man. You said retaining, like they kind of just added a few pieces on offense, but it's mostly the guys they had to retain most of their
That's
players.
What you see good teams do.
What I think was important to them, Dustin, and I actually had to Google it today because I didn't realize that he wasn't promoted to anything. But or I guess head coach is the only. But I thought Joe Brady did a bunch of interviews over the offseason, right?
He was in there a little bit, but he didn't really have a shot out.
He interviewed with Dallas, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Well, and Carolina, I think. Oh no, Carolina was last year. Yeah. Sorry.
But retaining Joe Brady, man, was I think the most important thing they did this last offseason, man, because when he took over that offense, and they fired Ken Dorsey when he was actually like decent. Like I think his offense was in every top 10.
Well, wasn't that 2 years ago that they fired Ken Dorsey and Joe Brady took over? That wasn't this past season. That was the season prior, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, 2 years ago. Sorry, but still, like all the conversation remains the same. Retaining him,
the offense was a top 10 offense, and that defense was a bottom defense when they made that move. Yes,
but Josh Allen was averaging as high as turnover rate per game when Joe Brady and the Bills were averaging, I think, 62 yards, I believe, rushing per game. When Joe Brady was promoted to offensive coordinator, they went up to 83 rushing yards per game, and Josh Allen's turnovers came down from, I think it was like a turnover and a half per game to like 0.7 or something. I don't remember the exact statistics, man, because I really don't care to, but he got substantially better in
Your
protecting
point
the
is the
football.
offense was
Yes.
stabilized when Joe
Well, and
Brady
he
took
yes, and
took
he got
control.
incredibly better at protecting the football, which
Much
was
more
Josh,
efficient.
which was
Yes.
and was it was Josh Allen's kind of last. He's got to fix this, or he's still not one of those guys. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And a big part of that was the fact that James Cook came on in a very strong way 2 years ago, and
Yeah,
then this past season, right? A big part, and then
yeah,
they re-signed him. And when you have a ground game that you can run on, because like Josh Allen was their best running back. He was
yeah, and I
he,
think that's what I
and
kind
he's
of mean,
still a
Dustin.
damn good running
Is
back. He still runs for a lot of first downs. Like he's
Joe
he's
Brady?
the top quarterback in the league at doing that, actually.
I think Joe Brady saw that he had a good player in James Cook and knew he could do more and lean on him. He could do more, a little more with him and lean on him because the guy can receive the ball in the backfield. He had 18 touchdowns. I mean, last season, this guy's a machine, man. And getting James Cook involved not only helped Josh Allen and helped the offense entirely, but it proved to me that he's like a fucking monster in this league, man. And
He's an
I think,
all-purpose back, a 3-down running back. He's a
and
stud.
I think it kind of, well, he's one of those players. I said this to you earlier today that I think kind of swayed the value of this position is growing stronger again in NFL drafts. Dustin. I mean, we saw a long couple of years where these guys just didn't touch fucking running backs in the first round, NFL teams, because it was whatever. We'll get our guy. You know what I mean? It became that.
Oh,
It was
to
devalued.
that point, but it's not just about the first round with running backs. Like there's high value in the second rounds and third rounds, and you find starters in there. So I mean, like teams are trying to find the value because then they can have those young guys and get a lot of carries out of them on a good second round or third round contract. And James Cook, I believe, was a second round pick as well. So I mean, like, yeah, but yeah, in terms of them getting paid, Brandon, on that second contract, you're seeing teams start to pony up more too in terms of going, like the Bears just went out and gave, 24 million to DeAndre Swift last year in free agency because they needed a running back. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably the worst way to go about doing it. You got to find one of these guys in the draft, but when they perform, you got to pay them. And the pay is what's going up. And I mean, I think people see 30 million guaranteed for James Cook and they're like, maybe that's too rich for my blood, because you can just go do the same thing again. You can draft him again in the second round. But when you have a team like the Bills who relied on him so heavily to stabilize their offense and add a second dimension to it that they really needed for Josh Allen to take that next step, I think it makes total sense for them to pony up and pay the guy, because why would you want to go change that up again? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, and
James Cook showed himself to be a big part of that offense and a guy that they could rely on, and Josh Allen has comfortability with.
no, he was a huge part of his offense. I thought he was honestly, I thought he was one of the most important players
What's up,
to their
Don Bird?
team, respectively, in the NFL. And he also, I think, the more you get James Cook involved, the more you're protecting Josh Allen. Because, like you just said, Dustin, I mean, the guy runs the ball. He runs it efficiently, but he runs it a lot. And before they were leaning on James Cook like they did when Joe Brady took over, Josh Allen was accountable for like 85% of, I mean, he either carried or threw the ball on like 85% of plays on that team. I mean, he was getting his ass kicked. And that was another thing, is they needed
Yeah, you got
Josh.
to
You
protect
have
him.
to let him do less, man.
Yeah.
As good as he is, you have to let him do less and he'll be better at the things he does. And I thought James Cook did that for that team. I thought James Cook to that Bills team is more important than a lot of players in this league, and Saquon Barkley the same. And I guess that's kind of what I mean is Josh Allen's incredible. Jalen Hurts to me has proved to be
A
he's
damn
proven
good
to be an
quarterback.
NFL
Yeah.
quarterback, man. I mean, the guy
Yeah.
can throw the fucking ball. So, and what Carl was trying to show us was a Jalen Hurts take, but I don't
Yeah. I
see
don't
it.
see it in the
I don't
chat.
see the
So,
post in the chat. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
maybe he posted it in actual comments, not live chat. I don't know. But yeah, I think he was huge for that, and I think the contract. I like the contract. I think James. He was a piece to me that you couldn't afford to lose. It was, and I know a lot of people like, what is it, my something Davis, Ray
Ray
Davis.
Davis.
Yeah. Um. But James Cook is not
he kicked a field goal or an extra point in the preseason game. Ray Davis.
Ray
Ray Davis. Yeah, yeah. Listen, I
we
mean,
saw practice today. Offensive linemen were diving for.
Let me say this, and fuck. Let me just ask this: am I the only one who watches Jonah Jackson diving for a fucking football and think, why in the fuck are our offensive line doing this? And what if they get injured doing this shit? Like Jonah Jackson coming off of a couple of injury plagued seasons, and like he's running down the field, throwing himself his big ass body on the ground for a football to catch it.
Well, yeah,
like, I get it's fun, but like
these guys
I just
are
think
more.
That's an injury waiting to happen. Personally,
these guys are more athletic than we think, and they can run. But yeah, I don't want anybody diving for like. I mean,
you're 320 pounds and throwing yourself through the air trying to catch a ball and throwing yourself on the ground.
And I don't get it, man. Like, I don't know if there's a guy there's a guy that you want to actually run that play. Leading up to that week, have them take that. Like,
it's not about running a play. They're doing one-on-ones for fun. It's just
so?
Yeah, that's what it is. They're not those were in one-on-ones, Brandon. They were just doing offensive line versus defensive line. Like that was just for fun.
Oh yeah, it was one-on-one.
Yeah.
Because who was it that beat Montez Sweat?
Bears. What up, dude? This is a new one.
Joe Tooney was.
Darnell Wright beat Montez Sweat out.
Yeah,
on
that's
that
right.
One. He kind of mossed him.
And Joe Tooney beat Grady Jarrett.
Bears, this is for you, man. I've never seen you in the chat before, so thank you for being here.
Bears, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining us, brother. He says we go 12-5.
As a Bears fan, he's saying it. We're going 12-5. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, man. Stick with us. We're gonna have some fun. If you got anything you want to talk about, throw it in the chat. The chat's been a little quiet, honestly and unfortunately. But if y'all got anything you want to talk about, any questions or topics you want to get into, throw them in there. We'll always touch on them. But yeah, there hasn't really been much to touch on yet. So yeah, I mean, I just don't like the offensive linemen doing that shit, man. Trying to be heroes and I need you healthy to protect my quarterback. I don't want you throwing yourself on the ground for a one-on-one drill.
Yeah, and hopefully once training camp's over, that stuff's over. It's no more fun.
Oh no, it is. They're just trying to switch it up and give the guys a break, let them have some fun.
I mean, did you see Colston Loveland address the team today?
No, what do you got?
In the meeting room? No.
Mm-mm.
He did the Aiden Hutchinson thing. He sang a song, man. Haven't seen that yet? He stood up in front of the team and sang an entire song.
Well, that's because the rookies have to do that shit. The rookies have to do it. They do a rookie talent show, yeah.
No, because he was in Detroit last season when Aiden Hutchinson did it. I don't think it's a rookie affiliated thing. I think he just
Brandon. They literally just did it on Hard Knocks last year with the Bears, and they do it every year on Hard Knocks. The rookies do a talent show.
Aiden Hutchinson did it last year for that Lions team. He sang a Michael Jackson song. I don't remember what it was, man.
No, I think he did that his rookie year, but I know rookies do that shit, Brandon. They do a talent show like in every locker room. They do it for training camp. They make the rookies basically embarrass themselves in front of the vets.
Yeah, well, I don't think
he make fun of them.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that he did, man, because the team just kind of really sang for him after he started the song. But he had him laughing for sure. It was cool, man. Check the video out. I like
John S. throws out thoughts on, speaking of Bears rookies. I don't know what Ozzie did. I mean, last year Theo Benedette pulled his pants off and had an eagle on his underwear, if you remember. He's now taking some first team reps. I mean, but John S. is asking about thoughts on Ozzie moving back to right tackle, Darnell Wright Insurance. What are your thoughts, Brandon?
I mean, I think if Ozzie Trapilo is on this football team, if you're talking about insurance, I imagine you mean he's a backup. He's going to play no matter where an injury is, I would imagine. If he's the best other than Braxton Jones.
If he's your swing tackle.
Yeah, you think that, both he's going to be your right tackle or your left, depending on which guy gets injured. Or there's always the possibility, Dustin, that once somebody gets injured, they take the other starter and move him to another. Like, that happens a lot too, you know what I mean?
I don't think they're ever going to move Darnell Wright to the left.
Man, I was talking about this with Sean today. I would be so intrigued by that idea if I'm a guy taking over.
I've been saying that for fucking years.
This is my best player at the position, and he's not playing the more important of the two. I'm going to try this. That's what I would think. If I was a coach taking over this football team, That'd be my first thought.
Listen, when you hear Dan Rusher, and I mean, he's out there trying to motivate these guys, and he's holding.
Well,
them
they're doing what we
accountable.
talked about on this show already, man. They're speaking the competition as well. You can't just.
No, but
they're making them believe it.
But when you're saying that my top 10 right tackle stud is a bit too inconsistent, and it's an effort, that's an effort thing. In terms of, he's basically saying like there's certain plays where he has it when he's focused, but when he loses focus, he loses his abilities go down. Like that's concerning to me.
He's out of shape too.
Yeah, that's concerning.
That's something I've never heard about Darnell Wright being fatigued.
And listen, I appreciate the honesty. I appreciate the honesty and accountability, but I don't like fucking hearing like that. That shouldn't be something you hear.
If these coaches aren't going to give you anything less, you're going to get that all year.
Again, I'm not debating that. I'm just more concerned when I hear shit like that about a guy that was drafted in the top 10 to be your anchor right tackle.
We talked about this a week ago about how this guy needs to be. I said he needs to be better than Joe Tooney. I said he needs to be, and at his age especially, he needs to be the anchor.
He was drafted to be that guy, and you got to be consistent first to be that guy. So like that becomes concerning to me. So like Ozzie Trapillo playing, I don't know. There's going to be insurance at the tackle position one way or the other, whether it's Braxton Jones that wins that left tackle spot or it's Ozzie Trapillo, because the other guy is going to be the swing tackle. So you'll have the insurance for if there is an injury or anything like that, or if just play is not good enough, performance is not there, right? So like that's going to happen either way. But the left tackle spot is now being, thrown into the potential hands of Theo Benedette as well. Like this is getting this was very concerning already. It's getting a little more than that.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you read the piece that I put on after the Bears' first preseason game? I put that piece on, guys, our website, 4starchicagosports.com. I just simply call it Bears versus Dolphins because it's just what I saw during that game. And the offensive line is clearly behind where the Bears want them to be, where we hoped they would be. The left tackle position.
They haven't established who the left tackle is yet.
And they're not even close, Dustin.
And that's very concerning.
Yeah. And that's
when
what
you're throwing a third guy into this competition.
That's what I wrote in that piece. Is they're well far behind where a Bears fan would hope they'd be, where they hope they'd be. And yeah, that's a problem, man. You're about a month away from the season. That's a problem.
And I said a couple weeks ago when we were talking about this, Brandon, the longer that goes with nobody establishing themselves, the more likely it is that the Bears just lean back on the experience of Braxton Jones.
Well, because that would imply
the fact that he's a veteran.
Yeah, and that would imply that nobody, like you said, nobody proved
nobody stood out. Yeah. No. So like, they will just lean on that experience.
Braxton's a problem, and he's been
correct. And if Braxton is your best choice at that position. Or if Theo Benedict is an undrafted free agent rookie last year, he's in his second year. Listen, whoever ends up earning.
I don't want to say Bears asked this a while ago, man. We take our predictions very seriously. Dustin hasn't done his, so I know he's not going to announce it. I gave mine, guys, before the training camp, before the rookie mini camps, right after the draft. I said 9-8, and I'm going to stand on that. I'm going to stand pretty firm on that. I think 9-8 would be a well-improved football team. Probably not good enough to be a playoff team, but I mean, you'd be content with that record if this Bears team looked good and they were competitive. So that's what I got. Bears 9-8.
John S says fourth guy in the competition, referring to Theo Benedict. Yeah, I mean, Karan is not really in that competition anymore. Karan is in trouble in terms of his spot on this roster right now. He is.
Yeah.
Like, if he can't stay healthy and if he can't perform, like. And that's just another blotch in terms
healthy.
Of on the.
I mean, he's and
that's another blotch on the resume of Brian Poles drafting offensive linemen.
Tackles, Dustin.
Just in general, man.
3 of them now, man.
It becomes very concerning. This is the most concerning thing about the Bears. It needs to be figured out soon so this offensive line can start gelling and working together consistently as the ones that they are. I want them to figure this out, and I want them to do their due diligence to do so. But the more, people you start throwing into this competition and this conversation, the less and less my confidence gets. You got none. Yes. If you got 4, you got none. That does not work that way.
And I think you might be right, man. I mean, the verdict is going to be out on Karan very soon because not only is Karan injured,
and that sucks,
and has been, he wasn't being used in multiple spots when he was able to practice. He was a left tackle with the third unit when he played, and then he came out like, you know what I mean? He
Yeah,
wasn't
make
getting used.
yourself available at the guard
He wasn't
position.
used.
Like, do something. Yeah.
Well, he wasn't
Yeah.
used at right tackle with the twos. You know what I mean? They didn't like. He didn't get moved around. That's at least I never heard that. I never saw any videos with him in any other place. So like, Karan, as far as I can tell, didn't impress anybody on this coaching staff.
Listen, the Bears trying to figure out their best combination and what they have and where these guys are going to. If you're going to figure out who's going to be the starting left tackle, then you got to figure out who's going to be your swing tackle. You still got to figure out who's going to be your backup right tackle, who's going to be your backup left tackle. Like all those things still got to get figured out too. So you want to see everybody at every spot. Yeah, you want to see everybody at every spot as much as you can, and you want to see what the best fits are. So I totally get that. But at the end of the day, you got to have a starting left tackle that you feel confident in saying, this guy's our starting left tackle, 3 weeks before the season starts. Like you got to get to that point. And a lot of people were talking before this whole preseason started and before training camp started, like maybe we'll see who it is in the first week or two. I didn't think so. I didn't think it was going to be that clear cut. And now we're in week 2 and we're still not going to know. And I don't know if we're going to know next week. I really don't. Now that Theo Benedet's being brought in there, I think that I'll say this. I think that Theo Benedet is given that opportunity with the ones because of how hard he's working. The coaches fucking love him. He's doing everything they ask. Dan Rocher said he's like the most improved player that he's seen on that offensive line because he's really putting in the work. So I think that was kind of like an attaboy. I don't think he's actually legitimately in that competition. I'll say that. I don't think Theo Benedet is. But between Braxton and Ozzie, if no one's standing out at this point, they will go with Braxton, and Bears fans know how that looks.
And I don't think,
and we have to hope that Braxton is magically made better by this coaching. And I don't know if he's a good enough pass blocker, regardless of who his coach is. And Notorious, what up?
What's going on, man? What's going on, Notorious? What it looks like to me, Dustin, is I think now we both agree. Ben Johnson said he wants to know by the end of the second preseason game who his left tackle is.
It's not looking like that's going to be decided.
I know. They're not even close to that decision.
And we might be sitting here and we might be wrong. They might come out on Monday, Brandon, and say it. I don't expect that. I really don't. But
they're going to be asked. We know that. So, But yeah, I don't see Ben doing that anyways. Because again, he's got a few more weeks left before season. He's still going to be preaching this compete and earn it, and he's not going to. They're not going to be naming starters until their depth chart's listed, man. That's the way I feel about this team.
But you look around this roster in this preseason and this training camp, all these positions are set. The competition is everywhere. I mean, they can say that the second cornerback position is up for grabs. Terrell Smith is not beating out Tyree Stevenson for that job. Nahshon Wright.
I think Nahshon Wright is the guy. I think he's going to play some football. Regardless if he does, Dustin. Yeah, if he doesn't take Tyreek's job, he's going to play some football this year.
For sure.
Al Harris is like, and he's enamored with this kid. So
at least while Jalen Johnson is injured, if he's not back in time, Nahshon Wright is going to be a good backup for this team. But I think the rest of these positions, Brandon, are pretty fucking set. And I think if you look around the league, most of these teams are pretty set at their left tackle, barring, even Rashawn Slater. He's done for the season. But the Chargers have already made the moves that they need to solidify their offensive line. They just moved Joe Alt over, and I forget who they put in that right tackle, but he's a pretty solid right tackle too. Like the Chargers are still set at offensive line after having a season-ending injury at their starting left tackle, who they just paid millions and millions of dollars. The Bears don't know who their left tackle is in the second week of preseason.
He's a good player. Yeah.
This is concerning, guys. We should be very concerned about this.
Yeah, this was one of our could derail a season. It's not going the right way, man. It's definitely not starting off on a good note. And we have, and guys, we said this time and time again, the offensive line has improved regardless of who plays left tackle. And they're going to be playing next to Joe Thuney, and he will. I have watched a lot of tape on this guy now, man, because I really didn't know who he was. I knew he was good, but not to the level that he is. And whoever plays left tackle next to this kid is going to be okay. We said that before, Dustin. I believe that if it's Braxton Jones, he'll be okay. Joe Thuney's this line's going to be cohesive, and that's what I want to see on Sunday, man. We'll finish our Bears Bills note on that if you'd like, because we've talked a lot about this.
Yeah, man, we're 45 minutes in.
Yeah, I want to see a cohesive offensive line. regardless of who's playing left tackle.
C-Spags, who's a new member of the chat. I'm going to go ahead and get the applause ready for you, my brother. But he says we will know more about the left tackle.
Here.
Oh, when? Monday?
No, I think maybe last night. Somebody called him 007. I remember that.
What up, brother?
Whatever. Hit it anyways, man.
Yeah, if you're, I imagine you're subscribed. If you're here with us tonight, we appreciate you being here. I hope so, C-Spags.
This is for you.
I hope so, man. I hope they come out and they establish this, and then they just get it going with whoever the one is going to be at the left tackle spot, and get ready for the season. I hope so. It's not looking good right now, though, and I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, last week's preseason game applied a lot to me about that position, how far I think they are behind it, man. But yeah, I mean, Bills excited to see the starters play, even if it's only for one drive. Like I said, I want to see some cohesiveness in this football team, man.
Notorious right here. Yes, they said Rocher said it. He looked great in the joint practice on Friday. And did everything that they're asking him to do, anchored himself, and really performed well. And then on Sunday, he reverted back to in live game action. He reverted back to some of his bad habits that have caused issues for him, and he's got to be better than that. I love that the coaches are being brutally honest with these guys, because you know they are being brutally honest with them in person if they're saying that shit to the media. You know that, and I love that. But at the same time, it doesn't change the fact that these are issues. Darnell Wright being inconsistent with his effort, Braxton Jones being inconsistent with his effort and his performances, depending on what situation he's in. Those are concerning things when you're talking about the guys who are the bookends to protect your fucking quarterback. Those are concerning things. And I don't know what to make of it at this point. I really hope C-Spags is right and they have some stability and some more clarity as to who this left tackle is going to be, this week. That's what I hope.
I think that's what the Bears hope, and I think that's what's best for their future. And
Ozzie is listen, man,
if you're on if this is really something they're still looking at, you're on an hourglass, and the sand is almost out, because you're getting close to the season, and you need that guy to be with the ones every practice, all practice, moving forward. So like, you got to pick a guy. If it is like, man, neither one of them looks better than the other, and you have to go with the guy with experience, so be it. Pick that guy and get it going.
Yeah.
Get that started now.
Notorious, I hear you with Braxton and I hear you with Ozzie, but if Ozzie is not establishing himself, then there's something he's not doing in practice. And
we had Brendan Sugrue on here, guys, yesterday, and he said he believed that he lost on a few. He lost badly on a few plays out there. So,
and that's going to happen.
Maybe that's just what you're going to need to expect all season. But that's
if you pick a rookie who played right tackle his last 2 years in college to start at left tackle, there's going to be mistakes.
To bank on that, man.
I've been saying, like, no matter who they end up picking, there's going to still be concerns throughout the season. Even if it's whoever the best man for the job is, that doesn't mean that they're good enough. There's going to be issues with Ozzie. There's going to be issues with Braxton, and I think the Bears will end up leaning on the coaching if no one the Bears will end up leaning on the experience and the veteran if there's no one that stands out. I just think that's what'll end up happening.
I tried to focus on these guys, man. When I was at I was at the Bears Dolphins preseason game, guys, and Dustin, you're aware of that. I focused on the left tackle, and I was taking my phone out when they're on the other side of the field, because in the first quarter they were going the opposite way to score, and I took out my phone and zoomed in with my phone on the left tackle and consistently watched it. And I was talking to Tiana about, she said the guy, she's like, that guy 75 is fucking huge. And I was like, yeah, that's the guy I've been focused on. He is massive, man. This guy, he really is tremendously large.
Yeah, those guys that stand out on a field, that's impressive when their size stands out from that far away.
And then this makes sense. To follow up, I thought he was incredibly good at anchoring. I thought when somebody tried to bull rush him, man, he stood his ground. He didn't get moved. But I thought when a defender who had some moves and some speed and some hands, I thought when those guys played him, he struggled a little bit.
And that's what feels better.
That's concerning, because Braxton Jones is pretty good with his hands and his upper body, but he can't anchor for shit against a bull rush. So, you've got these two guys, to me, who are starting to look like they're opposing one another in the things they do well. So I guess whatever you think is better for pass protection, more likely an anchor, That should be your guy.
And you deal with the growing pains of a guy like Ozzy. But that's what Theo Benedette was doing really well in that game. Kick stepping and moving with speed to beat the guy to the edge. And not I mean, that's one thing he was doing really well. And we're not seeing Braxton or Ozzy do that as well as him. So I mean, like it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out tomorrow and how it plays out on Sunday. Again, hope there's more clarity after Sunday in terms of what it's going to look like on this offensive line, who's going to be your starting left tackle. But I don't feel good about this. I feel
if you didn't read my piece, man, go back and check it out. And I'm glad that you felt, because we haven't discussed this at all, but I felt the exact same way, and I hadn't heard anybody say that position battle is not going well. And I was the only person who on Sunday's preseason game was like, something's fucking wrong here, man. Something's wrong with the way this is being approached today, because it means it's not even close to resolved. That's the way I felt when I watched it.
We'll see if we're wrong. We'll see if we're wrong. Maybe we get proven wrong.
I don't think we are, Dustin, but
I hope. I can only hope.
Hope. This is one of those scenarios where being wrong is the best case scenario. Dustin, you wanted to do, guys, and that's kind of as much as I think I want to talk about the Bears preseason game.
Joint practice tomorrow. That's where I want to see the Bears,
and they're going to be physical again.
Fuck yeah! Out physical this Bills team. I'll be impressed.
Before we get to these QB rankings, man, I know you wanted to. We wanted to talk about. We did a show, guys, where we talked about the 5 things that could derail this season. We want to talk about 5 fringe scenarios, and I think
we're going to do that first.
Okay. Yeah, I think those will be more on the positive side than the negative, considering we kind of did that already, right?
I think this is going to be fun, and I'm curious to see what the chat thinks of these. When I pitched it to Brandon, I said like 5 or whatever you came up with, Brandon.
Outlandish.
Out on a limb takes. Like, me and Brandon are going to go out on a limb with the things we're saying about our expectations for this Bears team this season, or certain players, and I think we should have a little fun with it. How good is Caleb at escaping to the right? He's pretty damn good at escaping on either side and still finding a way to throw the ball. But like when Caleb's doing that, that's when you tend to I want to see him play within this offense a lot more this year. But I mean, and only do that when he has to. And hopefully he doesn't have to do that anywhere near as much this year with the interior O-line solidified.
Man, like we did that show, guys. The 5 things that might derail this season. One of them was the left tackle uncertainty going into the year. And I'll tell you, man, if that position is bad enough,
that play works, C-Spags. that play works.
If that position's bad enough to affect this football team, man.
If there's a position on the O-line,
terrified for Caleb's health, and I don't want to watch another long losing season, because
Brandon, the reason it was on that list is because if there's a position on the O-line that can do that, it's the left tackle position, right?
Yeah, and it's also most important to your quarterback's health, and that's terrifying, man.
T checking in with some UFC.
But why don't you kick us
boxing
off? Yeah, it's boxing. Yeah, and I hope Canelo. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to do boxing.
Listen, 5. We're gonna throw some out on the limb takes at you for the Bears 2025 season. I want to see where they land with you guys and what y'all think of them. My first one that I'll throw out, I think, is like my weakest one, honestly, but I still feel good about it. I still feel good about this one. I think Jaquan Brisker, is going to establish himself as a top 10 safety in the NFL this season.
I think you could have said, I thought you were going to say, because I thought about Brisker when I was putting these, after we talked, I started putting these together, man. Brisker being the best defender on this football team this season. And
that I was close to saying that. Close to saying that.
And
at least the best player maybe the best player in the secondary. At least, this, I think he's in for a fucking hell of a season if he can stay healthy.
And Brendan,
the leader of this defense type.
Brendan Sugrue said this on our channel last night, guys, and I thought this. I've said it a couple of times on this show, man. I mean, he's. I don't know.
He's setting the tone for his defense.
If you look at the PFF shit, man, and we talk about how much I don't really give a fuck about this guy. For some reason, he was ranked really far back when he was injured. He was like 47th of all safeties when he was injured. But I thought, man, he was blossoming into the player the Bears drafted him to be and more.
It's
Like,
because he's not
yeah.
great in pass coverage, Brandon. Like that's been a flaw of Jaquan Brisker's
But
since
Brendan
he was in
agreed.
college.
Yeah, Brendan agreed. I mean, I thought he was like turning into a monster when that injury occurred, man, which sucked. It sucked because I mean he looked to me like he was going to be one of the best defenders on this.
It really
team
did. It was one of the
safety in this league.
It was one of the factors that deflated this defense 100%. Because I mean, at the very, even if he's not that great in pass coverage, which he just hasn't been, and he can improve that. But like, even if he's not, like the amount of the tone setting ability he has when he makes a big hit or to come play up in the box and really help you in run support, like and blitz. I mean, he's got great athletic ability, man. So like, and he's just a hard hitting motherfucker. Like that sets a tone for your defense. And if he can get just a little better at pass coverage and play the center field some when needed, because you got Bayer to do that and to allow Brisker to come up to play the run. Like I think he can really take off this season in Dennis Allen's defense, man. And I think he can be the tone setter for this defense. He has been through training camp. Nobody's denying that. Like this guy is coming out with energy. If he can stay healthy, Brandon, he's going to be a top 10 safety in the NFL.
And I think we have that guy in Tyreek Stevenson that will get a little chippy and he'll draw some penalties from defenders. You also need that guy, man. And I'm sorry, like this, the one if anyone with the V word that is violent. I mean, this is the guy that makes players not want to catch a ball. You need that guy too. You know what I mean? If you're one of these receivers crossing over the middle, unprotected, going for a ball, Brisker is the guy you think about. That's the guy that makes you not want to go put yourself out there.
Yeah, man.
Killed, man. And you need that guy too. You need that guy in your defense.
You need a guy
who is borderline, what people will probably call dirty in a way, but just is going for it all, man, when he's going to hit somebody. And I'm glad we got one of those guys. I just hope he can stay healthy.
What's up, Phil? Thanks for joining us, man.
What's up? What's going on, Phil?
I'm sure you hit that like button, but do it twice.
That'll unlike it. But yeah. Anyways, I think that he's that player that instills fear in the opposing offense, man. And you need one. You need one. And I love Brisker, man. You know that. I always have. I thought he was phenomenal. Even when he was most heavily criticized as a rookie, as a young player, man, I thought I could see all the traits in a good player on the way. And he really started to blossom that last season, man. It
because of this comment.
I agree with you. Your Fringe is not. If he stays healthy, we're going to be.
I think it's pretty out on a limb.
We're going to be talking about Jaquan.
Yeah, but that's the big if, the health, right?
Yeah, and if he's concussed, guys, it's a wrap.
Even
if Brisker tries to continue to play football, it's not going to be on this football team. Yeah. His contract is up.
C-Spags threw this comment out here, so I'm going to throw another one at you that I got, Brandon, since C-Spags threw this out here. He says, apart from the Washington ending, Stevenson is an amazing player. I'm with you. Watch how much better now under real coaching he's going to be. He made a lot of great plays through last year and the year before that, C-Spags. He says he's banking on him. Another one of my out on a limb takes, Brandon. Tyreek will have a better season than Jalen Johnson in 2025 for the Chicago Bears. That's
definitely out on a limb.
Yes,
100%.
yes.
I mean,
I wanted to throw that out.
We've talked about Tyreek Stevenson. I agree with you, the man. This guy he's on a projection to me to do nothing but improve and progress. Because
on a good trajectory with this defense.
Yes. This is what he needs to be doing. He needs to be pressing somebody. He needs to be physical with somebody. He needs to lock a receiver down from the snap. I don't like Tyreek Stevenson in zone. I like him doing this. I think he's going to be a better player. But Jalen, man, can do anything. And he's going to lock down anybody who's across. I mean, he has made it so some of the best wide receivers in football don't even get targeted, man. I
think Jalen Johnson benefited from the type of defense that Eberflus ran in terms of that cover two, in terms of the zone. I think it's a little better suited for him. And as you just said, I think this type of defense that Dennis Allen runs is much better suited for Tyree Stevenson than that Matt Eberflus defense was.
I think
Tyree Stevenson is going to make a lot of splash plays this year.
I agree with you. But
being that ball hawk the Bears need. I'm not saying he can't play it. I'm saying I think Tyreek can play it better. That's what I'm saying. And again, this is why it's an out on the limb take. I'm not taking anything away from Jalen Johnson. I mean, Jalen Johnson has been the best player on this.
Oh yeah, and I'm not even trying to dispute you. I want to pitch this debate with you because this is kind of what this is, man. And like I said, he should be the most improved player on this football team.
That's what we both expect him to be. That's what we both expect him to be, Brandon. Yes,
and
I think he benefits the most from the change.
Not only that,
defense.
He's going to become the Tyreek Stevenson that Tyreek Stevenson believes Tyreek Stevenson can be, if you know what I mean. This guy, I mean, I'm saying it intentionally because the guy likes himself, and I think he's proud of. I think he believes.
I think he's pretty damn humble. Yeah. I think he's pretty damn humble.
You think? I think he is as well, but I think he's also pretty goddamn confident in who he is, man. And
and we need him to be.
I love Tyreek Stevenson, man. For the first time, I've never really watched him. I watched that interview he did. What was it? I think last week where he's just talking about the
when he's at the podium talking about making deposits.
Yeah, this dude is awesome. Like I love his attitude, man. He's clearly a guy who knows this game really well. He's going to be really good, man.
Got a dog mentality, and he's another tone setter for this defense, Brandon.
There's no way that there's another cornerback on this team that could play as strong as Tyreek Stevenson will in press coverage. I don't believe that, Dustin. I don't, because we're talking about who could be the CB2. There is no player on this roster that should play in man coverage other than Tyreek Stevenson. So that needs to be the result.
And I'm taking that a step further with this take that Phil says, Dustin, that's pretty ballsy. It will be interesting and definitely much more competitive at every position. Yeah, it is ballsy, but I'm taking it a step further with that because I think Tyreek is more suited for this defense than Jalen Johnson is. And I have always I'll say this right now. I said the same shit last year.
He's more physical than Jalen Johnson. He is.
I said I expected Tyreek to take a step last year where I thought he might become the best cornerback on this team. I'm doubling down on it this year. It is a ballsy take, Phil, but that's why we're here with these out on the limb takes, and that's what makes it fun. But I really do have very high expectations lining up with C-Spag 007 in terms of what Tyreek is going to be capable of under Dennis Allen and with Al Harris as in his ear all the time, man. I think Tyreek is just in for a blow-up fucking season, guys. And not saying Jalen Johnson's not going to have a good season. I think Tyreek Stevenson is going to have an awesome season.
Yeah, and I think the two of them together are going to be one of the better aspects of this football team. Dennis Allen has always improved secondaries, man, and this one was already good. That's going to be the strength of this football team, Dustin, is those guys in pass coverage. We just talked about Jaquan Brisker. Tyreek Stevenson
Kyler Gordon
is going to take a giant leap forward. Kyler Gordon's going to be used in a lot of different ways, ways that we've probably never even expected because Dennis Allen just sees something in him. He's talked about it a lot now, guys.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah. And Kevin Byard just does his job, man. He just does his damn job. I like Kevin Byard. I thought he was a good addition.
He's a pro.
He was an all-pro at one point of his career. The guy still has enough in him to.
I think he's reinvigorated. I think he's reinvigorated by this coaching.
Change of culture. Change culture. Yeah, for sure, man. And sometimes that's what it takes for a player who's in their latter years, man. But
while you're talking about all of them, Brandon, I mean, this Bears secondary overall could be a top 5 secondary in the NFL,
which would be the strength of their football team, for sure, on either side of the ball. Dustin, let me get one out of the way since you've thrown two, and I understand why you did it. But mine is Colt. My first one is Colston Lovin catches 1,000 yards, guys. And the reason I say this is because the more that I see this guy on the field, and I don't even mean, like in the preseason catching passes and getting stats in the more I see him on the field, the more I think that Ben Johnson can do with this guy. He might not be as talented, but you can kind of he's got a Brock Bowers vibe to me. He can be used as a wide receiver. You could probably even give him a carry out of the backfield. I mean, Colston Loveland is a big, strong, athletic dude, man. I think you can definitely throw him that.
I don't want to see him carrying out of the backfield.
You can definitely throw him that pass they were giving Cole Kmet last year.
The screen passes behind the line of scrimmage that he can do something after the catch. 100%.
Some blockers in front of him. Mm-hmm. I think you can utilize this guy in a lot of ways. I think it's going to be a matter of convenience as well, Dustin. I think he is going to be utilized in those quick pass, like those quick releases where Caleb can just get the ball out of his hands, get this guy open early. And I think he's the kind of tight end that's going to create. So listen, my case for him is that I just think he's going to be one of those dudes, man. And I think regardless of convenience and where they line him up and how that plays into his favor.
No, that's going to be a huge part of it. You can't say regardless. That's going to be a huge part of it.
I believe that's to make my claim for 1,000 yards, that's obviously got a lot to do with it. But he could be the ceiling for this kid. Could be a guy who just leads the Bears anyways in receiving. You know what I mean?
Dude,
He's just that Travis Kelce type dude. If you get those guys, quarterbacks are really comfortable throwing to those guys. Man.
You said it earlier, and I've been saying it for a while, and I gave you some shit because I said it on a show a couple of weeks ago, and you didn't really comment on it. It made me feel like I'm going crazy because like I compared this guy to fucking Tony Gonzalez at the weekend of the draft on our show. I compared him to Tony Gonzalez.
That you did, yeah.
And Jimmy Graham is what I see when I see Jimmy Graham type of effect this guy can have. You can line him up out wide. You can do anything with him. He can play in the slot. He's a giant fucking receiver, and his ability after the catch is going to be special, and his ability in the red zone to get separation and also to high point the ball. Brandon, I wrote it the day after the draft weekend too. He's going to be the number one red zone target for Caleb Williams on this football team this year. I do not expect it to take some time for Colston Loveland. This guy is going to come out firing, and he's going to be a fucking hell of a player. 1,000 yards is a lot for a rookie tight end. So that is going out on a limb. Even if this guy put up 800, that's a lot. But if he has 800 yards and 8 touchdowns, I won't be surprised, Brandon. So I don't know how much of out on a limb it is, but it is out there. The branch is cracking a little bit for sure.
Yeah, and all those guys you just mentioned, man, even while playing with good wide receivers, were to me, Tony Gonzalez and Travis Kelce and Jimmy Graham in their prime, the best targets on their football team.
Yes.
And that's what I mean.
A mismatch no matter where they are on the field.
The ceiling for Colston Loveland could be, guys, and I'm saying this because he was a top 10 pick, not because he looked like that. And Ben Johnson, he's going to an offense where he's going to be utilized in a lot of ways.
Yeah, you got to consider the situation he's in.
Yes, and he's got a lot of physical talent, man. He does. So sky's the limit right now. But yeah,
and he has no lack of work ethic or want to. Or smarts.
He's a terrible singer, guys, but he's a good tight end.
He's going to establish himself as one of the smarter players on this football team, Brandon, in terms of his understanding of the offense. That is something that'll get overlooked when it comes to Colston Loveland, because you just focus on his physical ability and just how physically imposing he is when he's just standing there. But like, this guy is smart as a fucking whip. He wants to know everything.
He runs routes to it,
and he works his ass off. Like, so the things that when you have a supreme talent or physical ability, a lot of times you get by easy. So like, you don't really study the game enough, we see that all the time in basketball, football, whatever, any sport, right? If you just rely on your physical gifts, Colston Loveland does not have that in him. This guy is not going to fail from a lack of try hard. This guy is going to bust his ass. So you combine all those things, and you see what Ben Johnson saw and why he wanted him at 10 and what he envisioned being able to do with him in his offense. He is literally the key that unlocks this offense. I am with you 100%, Brandon. Colston Loveland will have immediate impact for this Bears team. Yes. And Burton's going to take a little longer. Just another rookie that they drafted. Like,
that's what I said on Monday.
I've been saying that since he got drafted, man, because like there's too much competition for him. Colston Loveland, though, is going to get put everywhere on the field by Ben Johnson, and everywhere he goes, he will be a mismatch no matter who is defending him. So that is going to be hard to deny in terms of those stats. So 1,000 yards is pretty out on a limb, man, but I see it being conceivable.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to watch him, and we talked about it on the show, Dustin. I'm sure a lot of Bears fans remember this, and we'll never forget. Ben Johnson said, Colston Loveland thinks like a quarterback already. At this point of his career, he's already thinking like a quarterback.
He knows about everything that's going on in the offense, not just what he needs to do.
Those guys are good. Those guys end up being good football players. And he's got all the accolades he needs to add on to the fact that he's just a really intelligent guy.
You want to get another one out there since you felt shafted?
Yeah, this one is super fringe, man. But I there's no basis for this because we watched Jared Goff on this Ben Johnson offense the last few years. But Caleb Williams rushes for double-digit touchdowns.
Yeah, that's way out there. I don't know if I can get with you on that. I don't know if I want to see that. Like that's him being put in positions to get injured.
I think when
but
they're
you
in the
see
red
them
zone,
designing plays for him
I
to
think when they're
boot
in the red
in
zone, they're gonna do
quarterback keepers, quarterback options, stuff like that. I mean, like I think Ben's going to get creative with that. And when you saw what Jaden Daniels did last year with Washington and the amount of threat that made that offense on 3rd and short or 4th down and short in terms of their ability to have him roll out and have a run pass option, that just made them so hard to defend in crucial situations. And I said last year, there's no reason you can't do that with Caleb Williams, Brandon. So like I'm kind of with you, but double-digit touchdowns is insane, brother. The branch cracked, you fall into the ground right now, and you're gonna hit a couple branches on the way down.
We've taken the metaphor a little far.
I'll be the judge of that.
All right, you did 2. I gave 2. But
I guess you don't want to touch on that.
Yeah, I should probably talk about it a little bit. Huh? Yeah, no, and I don't.
You're like, I'm convinced it's a shitty take. We're moving on.
I don't realistically believe that it's possible, but I do think the Caleb Williams
there's got to be some realism.
He had 500 rushing yards last year. I could certainly see that improving, man, because it wasn't really designed for him. He just kind of did it because the guy extended plays. He did whatever it took last year to keep the chains moving, man. But he's going to be, if he's in the offensive system, we believe that Ben Johnson can cater to him. He's going to be put in situations where he's able to run for big chunk yardage, man. And I think that he's going to surpass his 500-yard mark in rushing. And I do think
he said he didn't want to run. You know, like last year in the leading up to the Bears season, he that comment was, I don't want to run. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he ended up running, like you said, for almost 500 yards, still just because he was running for his fucking life.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
But if it's designed and it's worked within the offense and you got blocking for it,
and you're protected a little
situational.
More.
Yeah,
but I think they're going to do it
like
in the
red zone wise. Red zone wise, situationally, it could make some sense. To the tune of double-digit touchdowns is pretty fucking insane. I'll just say that. But it does Ben Johnson see that as a way to unlock another part of his offense that he could not have had in Detroit that makes his offense more dangerous and harder to defend? With Caleb, yes, 100%, Brandon. I'm with you on that. There will be design runs in this offense, and Caleb Williams, his athletic ability will be utilized by Ben Johnson. I'm with you on that. But I can't go as far as you went. Frank Kuros, I've seen that name before. It's been a while though, man. Bear down. What's up? How you doing?
What's going on? Hit that like button. Bear down. Thanks for joining us.
Notorious throwing out one of his hot takes. Bears make the playoffs, or 2 of them actually. Bears make the playoffs, and Ben wins Coach of the Year. I thought about the Bears. Coach of the Year.
Well, those go.
Those 2 things go. Notorious. They do.
If they make the playoffs, he is absolutely 100% the Coach of the Year.
Yeah,
without a doubt. I don't care what happens for any
unless
other
Mike Vrabel unless Mike Vrabel wins 2 more games somehow in the same, like something like that.
But I don't think isn't that award already given?
No, I'm talking about in the regular season. Like say the Bears went 10-7 and the Patriots go 12-5.
Yeah.
Like then Vrabel would probably get that. But I mean, like, yeah, like you would think if the Bears make the playoffs.
I think the Patriots are further away from the Bears from making the playoffs.
I agree. I'm just throwing it out as a hypothetical.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a pretty hot take for sure, Notorious.
That's definitely Fringe. I mean,
if you guys got ones out on the limb takes you want to throw out, man, we'll read them. We'll talk about them.
Well, I'll guess I'll dive into my third.
Oh, that's not fair.
Okay, go ahead.
No, you want to go ahead? Go ahead. It's fine.
I think the Bears are gonna. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
This one's near and dear to my heart. I've been on this guy since before the Bears drafted him. I wanted the Bears to draft him. He had a rough rookie season. Shut up. He had a rough rookie season, but this guy is a fucking talent, and it's going to show. And it showed in the first preseason game. And I mean, what he showed in that first preseason game, Brandon. I don't give a shit who he was playing against. That should translate. His finesse moves, his power moves, and rushing the quarterback.
Austin
Booker is a fucking stud. I've been saying all offseason that he's going to have 8 sacks and he's going to be the X factor for the Bears defensive line. But after watching him in preseason get 3 sacks and look the way he looked, I'm ready to go a little far. Austin Booker's going to have double-digit sacks this season, and he very well might lead the Bears in sacks. That's my out on the limb take.
He looks so in shape, man. And I know it's such a little. Well, yeah, he lost. They said he lost 8 pounds of he lost 8 pounds and added just body mass. So like the guy he put a few pounds on, I think. And so he just got stronger, guys. He just got fitter, and we saw it. I mean, dude, Dustin, I was 75 feet away from that, like that Kyle called it a swan dive. I like calling it a Superman sack, where the guy's body literally just goes entirely horizontal in order to catch up to the quarterback. And
knock the ball out.
That's just not something I don't think any other player on this roster is capable of, man. Those Khalil Mack sacks, you know what I mean? Those running somebody down and flying through the air sacks. Like we've
Phil's
said
with us.
time and
Phil's
time
with us.
again, Dustin, this kid has the tools to play this position in the NFL. He's just got to be coached right. I believe that he does. And it's not about
He's getting
strength.
that.
And he's a big dude. He's a strong dude, but it's not about strength. He beats you and by just being elusive. I mean, I watched it on Sunday. You just can't keep up with him. That's
it's a combination of speed and strength that's pretty tantalizing.
And hands, man. He's got really good hands.
And what we've been saying this whole time too, man, his motor does not fucking quit. This guy does not.
Yeah, no, he chased down a play in the preseason game. He chased down a run. Yeah,
he did that all year last year. Like he never quits on a play. I just love everything about. Are you with me on double-digit sacks for Austin Booker, or do you think that that's a little too far out there?
No, I think you're close to the tree, man. I don't think that's all that fringe. I think if this guy comes in strictly on pass rushing down,
I thought we went too far with the metaphors already.
Yeah, but mine was cool. So
sure.
Fuck up. I think if he comes in just to be strictly, that's his thing.
He's a situational pass rusher
who just does it every time he's on the field. Even the guy across from him knows it because he can be that dude. That's what we're talking about. To have the tools where an offensive tackle knows you're coming after the quarterback because that's what you do when you're on the field, and you still do it. Those are the guys that get up there.
He reminds me of Aldon Smith. I've been saying it since I'll keep saying it. This guy reminds me of Aldon Smith, and he can just be a physical freak on that defensive line, and he might not he might not fit the prototype of what Dennis Allen wants on his every down defensive end, but situationally you can put him out there and you can get creative with him too, because his hand don't need to be in the dirt. You know,
no, Dustin, I mentioned this on Monday's show. He stood up for almost every play that he was in. So he was too much, man. And the Dolphins were playing backups the same as the Bears. And I said this to you, man.
I'm excited about what was important to me
is he was the best of the backups. That's a statement.
Not just the best. He fucking dominated, and he was the best graded pass rusher in the NFL.
But you know what I mean, man. When you could come out like Devin Duvernay,
I'm adding to what you're saying.
Yeah,
like, not just the best, completely dominant.
Duvernay was like the best receiver, and you expect those guys to be that way, man. A veteran player should stand out over these young guys. He should go out there with that attitude. I'm gonna be, you know what I mean? Tyson Page is gonna throw the ball to me because I know what the fuck I'm doing. These are kids out here. Austin Booker is young and only played 300 snaps, and he still came out in that preseason game and was clearly the best football player on the field. And so we talked about the offensive tackle being far behind where I hoped it would. Austin Booker is far ahead of the process that I was hoping for.
And we talked about it. We talked about it on Thursday. I said that was the main thing I was looking for Austin Booker.
Yeah, we did. We had him on our thumbnail. We called it out. That was the guy to watch. And he is far ahead of his development, guys. He is looking like the player that's going to be the force that the Bears believed he could be when they traded up to draft him, and the guy we all see.
We got a lot to get to, so we got to stop taking so much time on it. Frank says Bears will win 11 games. That's his hot take. I like it. I don't know if I can get there.
Yeah, I didn't do any like roster fringe.
Yeah.
That seems to be the go-to. I didn't do any of that, but
if Booker can maintain this level, it will free up Sweat to make great plays as well. I mean, yeah, it'll have a cascading effect for sure across the board for the entire defensive line. What do you got, Brandon? What's your next one?
All right. Caleb Williams will be sacked less than 40 times.
That's your out on the limb take? We couldn't say 30 at least, less than 30 sacks.
68. No, less than 40, man. Not a lot of NFL. Most NFL teams allow somewhere in the 30s.
Listen, this
when it comes to
offensive
sacks.
line is drastically improved. I mean, I
Good
would.
lines allow 30 sacks, man.
Yeah. That's why 30 is that line for me. 40 seems still like I don't want to see Caleb get sacked.
But
if he's 38
28
times,
sacks less than last season and a brand new unit and a brand new offense, less than 40 would be a quality season out of these guys, man.
yeah, but if my basement is flooded and I only get it like half unflooded, it's still flooded. Like 68 sacks is just a fucking
no. That didn't work.
No, well, it works though. Like there's still water in my goddamn basement. Like 68 sacks is such a bad fucking number, historically. Like anything compared to that is gonna look better, is all I'm saying. Like I want to see the way the way they've approached attacking the improvement of this offensive line. I want to see better than that. I don't think 40 is a good over under.
I said less than 40.
I want to put
39 sacks.
So that's
would put them
that's
in
your
the top.
over under. Yes, I understand.
Well, if they had 39 sacks, they'd
over
be
under 40.
Dustin, if they gave up allowed 39 sacks only, they would be a top 10 unit in the NFL.
I guess
they would. They would.
I mean, pull up the numbers because like that seems a little high to me. Is all I'm saying for what I would expect in terms of protecting your second year quarterback who's trying to earn the respect of national media, and I need to keep him off the ground. 39 times it just seems still a little too high for me for what they've done with this offensive line. That's all I'll say.
I think Caleb's still going to take his sacks, man. I do.
That seems to be a part of his style.
I want that to be fixed. I don't know that it will be, and especially not for the entirety of the season. So I'm going to say.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing, because we're not even talking about the change in scheme, the change in principle, and what Ben Johnson is trying to get out of Caleb Williams. If you combine that with the improvement in the offensive line and his ability, hopefully, Ben Johnson's ability, hopefully, to get in Caleb's head and get him to work within the offense and get the ball out, like that number should come down much more drastically than that. I'd like to see it come down.
I think we'd be pleased, man. I think you would. I think if they were sacked, if he was sacked less than 39 times, I think 32, Dustin, right now is what I'm looking at. 32
is the average.
I think was the best offensive line. I can't see. It's the website. It's locked. You can't see the last three teams.
Okay,
Can't see the best three teams. So 32. So it's probably 30. I think it is. I think 30 was the mark. I'm pretty sure when I was diving in.
That's why 30 is the number that I would say, man.
If you're 39, let's say you're somewhere near the top of the NFL. You would be last season. You would have been 9th, I think.
Well, in 2024, Buffalo allowed 1 sack a game. What's that come to? 17? Green Bay allowed 1.3 a game.
Yeah, Baltimore
1.4. I mean, you're talking about the top half.
Those are the three teams I don't see.
Okay, so I mean, like 15th, Tampa Bay allowed 2.3 a game. So you're talking about like 32, 34 there, right? So like, yeah, to be in the top half of the NFL.
Tampa Bay allowed 40 on the season.
Yeah. So I mean, like to be in the top half of the NFL, yeah, you got to be in that, under 40. So you're right there. But I'd like to see it a little better than that, because I think this is a top 10 unit.
Well, this was a fringe statement, though. Do you think that this Bears team will allow less than 40 sacks?
That's why I'm just not with you in terms of like it's that out on a limb. I think
it is
35 to be the max with the combination of what they're doing here.
If they allowed 41 sacks, I wouldn't be shocked at all, man. I would not be shocked at all.
For sure. And listen, it's obviously an improvement regardless, and it's a big improvement. But again, when you're comparing it to such a terrible fucking number, anything's a pretty damn good improvement.
Let's say the offensive line gives up 29, Dustin. Like I said, Caleb could take 10 of his own.
We're hoping that gets fixed. That's got to get fixed. So, all right. Bears fan for life. Phil says my concern right now is the tackle situation. The opening day starter will be interesting. Yeah, we dove into that an awful lot, and when you start to consider that, maybe 40 is a solid number. if they don't have a starting left tackle right now, maybe I gave you a little.
Yeah, we I was gonna say we had a long conversation about that, man. But yeah, I think 40. I think less than 40 would be a good year for this Bears offensive line.
Okay. I just don't know how. Is that as
Which,
out
by
on
the way, guys, there was a report that said he was the worst player in the field by some writer I don't even know and I don't give a shit about, but I also don't care about PFF. However, PFF did grade Luke Newman as one of the top 10 offensive linemen in the first week of preseason. 0 pressures, 0 sacks, 0 QB hits, and you had to have over 25 pass protection snaps, I think. And he was number 2.
We like Luke Newman.
He had like 36 snaps or something like that.
That would have been nice if one of us had Luke Newman ends up being a start. Like that's a good out on a limb take. Luke Newman ends up starting at least 5 games for the Chicago
Luke
Bears.
Newman wins the competition, and we're watching this left tackle thing go on. And they're like, well, Jonah Jackson's going to start this year on the bench.
I legitimately have no fear or concerns if I were to hear Luke Newman is starting. Like week 1. Like I think he will handle his business and hold his own. I really do believe that sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and I would like to know if he's the backup center and what's going on with that. That's important to me, guys. We've always had issues with center. Drew Dolman has had injury history. He has not. It's been a while since he played a full season. I think like 2 years. But
Phil throws out, how about the Bears punter punting half as much as he did last year? 50% less punts?
Well,
that'd be nice.
I can see it because he destroyed the league. In leading with punts, man.
Yeah.
That number I saw the other day, and I was just astonished.
Well, with the punters, you got to look at net average versus, like total punt yards or whatever, like net average in terms of how far you got it out there and how well it was covered in terms of the returner gaining those yards back. I don't have those numbers in front of me because I don't give a shit about punters.
Well, no, I'm just talking about the total number of punts. How many times?
Yeah, the amount of times he punted
this season was like an egregiously high number versus the second place team, and I was like, "This is." And obviously, when it was said, I think I was at Sports Clips getting a haircut, man, and it was said they were talking about it on it, and then they said like, Caleb Williams said to his punter, you know what I mean? They had to throw that in there, like you're not going to be punting too often on this, and then they started. It was bad, dude. It was bad.
Brandon loves sports so much he watches sports while he gets his haircut.
He's actually second, but he punted. Cleveland's punter punted more, but Torrey Taylor punted 82 times on the season. 82.
So 50% would be 41, Phil. So you're talking about 41 being
is a fringe. That's a good one.
That's out on the limb for sure.
Yeah, that's tough to say.
I think
a possibility.
50. Bears need to stop making the Bears punter MVP each year. LOL, just kidding. Is this one out on the limb? Let me throw this one out at you. Because I've been saying all off season and since the season ended that Rome Odunze is the number 1 receiver on this.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Shut up.
That was my next. Next.
Well, it's my turn, so just get in line. I'm going to take it a little further though, because I do believe Rome is the number 1 receiver on this team, and he will. And not that it's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing that he supplants DJ Moore because I think he's just better fit for that role in this offense. But I think Rome this year will be the best player from the Bears 24 draft. Rome is going to establish himself as the most talented and best player that the Bears drafted in 2024. Is that out on a limb to say that?
Were you just saying that he plays better than Caleb?
Yeah. I think Rome ends up playing at his position.
This is where I honestly thought this is where I would have gone league, man, because you went league with who'd you do that with? You did that with Brisker, and I said the best player on this defense for sure. That's possible. Rome, I would have gone like as a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL.
That's not happening this year. Rome is going to establish himself this year, and he's going to blow up. But like to be top 5, you got to beat out some dudes that are pretty well established and are going to have damn good years again this year. I just think
what if Rome has that kind of year, man? What if he does, bro?
I'm not
What
going.
if he has
You're
13
not.
touchdowns and 1,500 yards? What if he has that kind of year?
Yeah, but even then, like I don't know that you say he's better than CeeDee Lamb, he's better than Jamar Chase, he's
Or
better,
is he? But he's
better
just
than Amon-Ra
got
St.
more
Brown,
talent around
better
him.
than Justin Jefferson. I don't know. Again, I think it's a pretty big statement to say that the receiver that was drafted at 9 in the same draft where you draft the quarterback number 1 has a better season than that quarterback at their respective positions. Because like obviously, like you draft Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze to pair them to get together.
Rome needs Caleb to have a good year in order to have a good year. That's where that's going to be kind of tricky.
Not necessarily, because you see bad quarterbacks feed receivers all the time. Like just last year, Daniel Jones got Malik Neighbors like 120 fucking
right,
targets.
and he was the only guy getting targets. I think if Rome has a big year, man, Caleb's getting the ball to everybody. Rome's not going to be just solely targeted and succeeded on this football team.
Rome is going to be Caleb's favorite target.
Oh, for sure. We've
he
been
will
talking
be
about
his
that
number one
forever.
target.
But DJ Moore is still going to play a major role in this football team. Colston Lovin, we just talked about.
Top 10, Phil. That's what I was thinking. Top 10 is where I would go if I was going to make that statement for sure. But I just thought, with the comparison to Caleb Williams, just in terms of expectations, I think it's a pretty out on the limb statement. I don't think not a lot of people are going to be on board.
No, I think Caleb's going to have a better year. Like just at the respect of how important it is. If Caleb has a good year, it's better than anything any of the receivers did on this football team.
I'll say that Caleb could have a bad year by our standards, and Rome Odunze still fucking kills it. Both of those.
Yeah, Rome's going to be a monster, man. I mean, if you were to say he's a top 10 player in this league, I wouldn't think that's too
top 10 receiver.
I wouldn't think that's too out on a limb.
Not player.
Top 10 receiver in the league. I don't think that's crazy out on a limb. Guy was drafted 9th overall a year ago. He's about to be he's about to be in one of the best seasons of a wide receiver's career. His second in the NFL.
Yeah,
and he
had a rough rookie season though, so it's a lot of people are sleeping on him.
Go watch his interview, guys, because it was great last night. Brendan Sugrue also said that like this dude is just special. He can do it all. He can do it all, and he approaches the game as if he knows he's going to be very good at it, and I don't doubt that this guy's gonna explode, Dustin. We've talked about this time and time again.
He's going to be one of the best route runners in the NFL this year, I think. And the thing about
he's going to beat you when he doesn't get you separated.
He's still going to beat you
anyways.
That's what I was about to say.
Caleb puts the ball on him, man.
When I was texting y'all yesterday, he was open so much last year and just didn't get the ball. And the crazy thing about Rome is he doesn't even need to be open to catch the ball because he can high point it over a receiver. He can moss a motherfucker. He'll battle them out. I'll battle them, or he can just shield them with his body. There's so many things Rome can do at the point of the catch if the defender's still there with him, that where he doesn't even have to be open to get the catch.
Yeah,
and he's going to be open.
He's also
a lot.
Very good. He's very good at disguising the ball is close. Good receivers do this, Dustin. You see him do it. You know what I mean? They do that quick hand grab as soon as the ball is near him because you don't want to give the defender. You don't want to give it away that the ball is on its way, that you're about to catch the football. Only good receivers are guys that I find doing this on a consistent basis, fooling the DB into thinking that the ball is not coming their way until they catch it, man.
Okay. Well, if you're disappointed
he's gonna be a beast, man. He's gonna be a beast.
If you're disappointed in the way I worded it, I guess I'll go with top 10 receiver. Maybe that.
I'm not disappointed in shit. I don't know if you're talking to me.
You were very disappointed.
I would have gone like with Brisker and him. I would have gone the opposite ways with those. For sure. And if Brisker turns into that, man, holy shit.
Well, the other thing I thought about with Brisker,
top 5 strong safety in the
top
league?
10. The other thing I thought with Brisker that I thought would be an interesting, just since we're talking about it, comparisons, like Brisker has a better season than Kyler Gordon. That was kind of like where I was leaning at first, like because those two were drafted in the same draft, right? They've been on together since they came in the league, and they were the first 2 picks, Ryan Poles. And Brisker's been highly doubted because of his health, and Kyler Gordon's everybody's darling when it comes to that draft. But Brisker, I think, could have a better season than Kyler Gordon.
Yeah, it's possible, man. He like I said.
Is that more interesting than a top 10 safety? Is that a more interesting conversation?
Yeah, I think. Well, I thought the conversation was great. I'm glad we
Okay.
talked about Brisker. I thought he needed to be talked about after all we've been reading from Cam. And what I thought, and I've said this, guys, I said this on the show when the season ended. I said it when it was happening. I thought he was blossoming into one of the best strong safeties in the NFL. I think. I mean, you were reading his name every week. He was taking the ball away. He was making plays. He was hitting people hard. I mean, he is a Chicago Bears player, man. I mean, like true and true. You know what I mean? He really is. He bleeds orange and blue. That guy reminds me of some of the Bears we've watched in the old days, man. So no, I love that
What do you
conversation.
got? What do
Mine
you
is
got on your
bad.
next one?
Mine is going to be the Bears are a bottom 10 team in defending the run.
Bottom 10. Wow. I mean, is that out on a limb considering how bad they were against the run last year?
I think it is because I think everybody expects that to be the thing that's corrected this year.
Why?
Because the additions they made in the interior defensive line, man. They drafted Shamar Turner. They got Grady Jarrett. They have Dio, who's a better run defender than pass
Billings
rusher
healthy.
by
Billings
grade.
healthy. Billings
Yes,
health is the biggest
Billings being
factor.
back, Brisker
Yeah.
being back. Brisker is huge
Against the run. That's
defending
what
the
we
run.
said in the conversation about him. Yeah. So I mean,
So
like,
it's fringe to me to say that these guys still finish where they did last year at the bottom of the barrel, man.
well, when you pair that with the fact that you don't think they're going to be able to rush the quarterback, Brandon, you're predicting a bottom 10 defense overall.
Well,
right?
I honestly went with the run thing because I don't think it would be anywhere near fringe to say they finished somewhere near the bottom in sacks, man.
Yeah, no, I
We
understand. So
talked about this line on paper.
I'm saying you could have went a step further when you combine the fact that you think there'll be a bottom 10 run defense with the fact that you think there'll be a bottom 10 pass rush
We're
defense.
just telling each other what we could have done better.
You put those two things together, that's a bottom 10 defense overall, correct?
The defensive line for sure.
Well, I mean, it all starts there. They
can still be taking the ball away in the secondary. You know what I mean?
I guess.
I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna at a high rate. I think they're gonna take the ball away.
Not without rushing the quarterback, Brandon. Not without putting pressure on the quarterback. They are not going.
Yeah,
to.
and they're going to
get shredded.
They have no reason to be a good pass.
Okay, is this a new name? Is this a new name? Because I've never seen this name before. What's up, William Barbahane? Barb. What's up, William? William B.
What's going on, William? Thanks for joining us, man. He says, hopefully our offense. That's for you, buddy. Please hit that like, man. Thanks for joining us. He says, hopefully our
hit the subscribe first, then hit the like. Hit the subscribe first, then hit the like.
Or whatever order you want to do it in, man. Hopefully our offense will be good enough to make. Both. God damn it, Dustin! I just got to read the chat.
Okay.
He says, hopefully our offense will be good enough.
I'm sorry. What?
He says. He says, hopefully I never put a chat in this podcast again. He says, hopefully our offense will be good enough to make our opponents throw them.
Yeah, to put them in a position where the Bears know what they're doing and can.
That's a good point. I mean, if the Bears do struggle to run or to defend the run, you're going to be relying on the offense on this football team. It all starts with that. Sean said it yesterday. It's the truth. Or I think Jay said a successful football team runs the ball well on offense, and they, most importantly, stop the run on defense. When you're a defense that can't stop the run, you're doomed. If you're not,
that's why I said it's a bottom 10 defense overall. Brandon, is what you're predicting, really.
If you're not the best team if you're not the best defense in the league at stopping the pass, you're all right. You know, you can get by. If you're struggling with the run, you're in trouble, man, because you're opening the door to their entire offensive playbook every down. You know what I mean?
No, 100%.
You are putting an offense in the most advantageous situation in every game you play.
I can't get with you on that because I don't see this being a bottom 10 defense overall, because that's really what you're saying. Knowing what I know about what you think about this.
Well, what if the pass rush was substantially better and the run game still sucks?
Well, you don't think that. You don't think that? If for sure? I mean, like Austin Booker
if Booker did what we said he did, and Deo did, but the guys, Grady Jarrett's the old player at the bottom of the hill, man, and Shamar Turner suffers injury issues. Billings suffers injuries. There's possibilities that could make the interior defensive line the weakest unit on the Bears. And Gervon Dexter doesn't seem to be impressing anybody. So which is another thing we never really talked about.
Gervon Dexter is gonna fucking kill it this year, dude.
Where?
Everywhere, anywhere wherever you want to put him.
I think
he is going
that's
to
going to
kill
be
it
majority one tech is what it
no.
sounds like.
No, for sure. And I mean, he could be the most athletic one tech in the fucking league. The most physically dominant one tech in the league. If you put Javon Dexter at the one technique, then Andrew Billings is not a starter. I'm sorry.
That's
Javon Dexter needs to be a starter on your defensive line. Trust me when I say this.
Had the highest pass rush grade at the one technique position in the league.
Okay, so that's a good rotation there. If you're talking about Grady Jarrett and Shamar
out
Turner.
of that role.
No, I don't think so. I don't think you want to take him out of that role and put him at the 3 technique. It maybe situationally, depending on what you're doing and what you're expecting from the offense. But he should be a consistent 1 technique for you. But that doesn't mean that he should be your starter. If Javon Dexter is going to be a 1 tech for you, he needs to be your starting 1 tech.
Well, you know what I mean.
He needs to be a starting nose tackle.
We've heard was in turn with what we've heard about Javon Dexter possibly being a 1. It's always preceded or followed with Billings could be a 3 technique on this football team. And I think Dennis Allen has even said these words and like, no, we talked about this in a text. I was talking with Sean. No.
You're weakening us.
You're talking about an incredible pass rush grade from a 1 technique.
Yeah.
Not a very common thing. And that's what Billings is doing best. Why would you move him? And then second, man, if he goes to the 3 technique, he won't have the same success rushing the quarterback. It doesn't work that way.
He won't have the impact that he has, which is eating up multiple blockers.
Yes, consuming 2 blockers. Yes, that's his job. Theoretically, that's if you want to put it down in the most layman's terms, like what this guy's job is to do every play. It is to consume 2 of the 5 guys on the line so that everybody else has an advantage over the guy across from him. That's just and he does that well. He's done it well for the Bears. I thought this was one of the Bears' best signings over the last couple of years. You're getting more than your money.
The Bears,
you talked about it. The free agent guys are guys you want to get more than you spent. You know what I mean? You want to get more.
Yeah, you want to get the value. You want to be plus value on it. Yeah.
Billings and Byard to me have done that. Those 2 players have been doing that for this.
I think the Bears defense is 15th overall at worst. I think this Bears defense is going to turn a corner. I don't know about how well they're going to rush the passer. I think they still need to add some talent in that spot. But
we agree.
I think they'll have enough to be average at worst, which could be enough if the offense does what we hope and expect it will do. C-Spags asks, who will be linebacker 3? Another question for us. I got to say, man, Noah Sewell and Ruben Hippolyte both impressed the shit out of me on Sunday.
Yeah, and they do 2 very different things. I think that is going to be a role. I think what's
situational.
What dictates who's going to be in the field is going to be the situation they're in. It's going to be Kyler Gordon, Ruben Hippolyte, or Noah Sewell, I believe. The guy that
I like the way Hippolyte shot those gaps, man. Hippolyte looks good. He running through those.
He had one play that I won't forget where I saw him on the field. It was pretty early when they brought him in, and I was like, man, I'm going to watch this guy because we've talked.
Is it the one where he overran? He overran the play.
No, he ran
because he did that once
directly into the back of the linebacker next to him. I mean, he just ran directly into.
Well, there was another one where he overran the play and left the cutback lane for the running.
I think it was Bozeman that was next to him, and he just completely ran right into it, like flat into his back, and I was like, "Eesh!" But I think you want to do that based on because listen, Sewell can get after the quarterback. He's done this since he was in college. Dustin Hippolyte looked good, especially in coverage, which is strange because this was not one of his strengths listed when he was drafted.
He's got the speed. He's got the speed to stick to a guy for sure.
He was really good in coverage in that preseason game. So you don't.
I thought he stood out the most.
One thing you don't want Noah Sewell playing coverage. You never want that to be.
No. I thought Ruben Hippolyte that impressed me the most shooting the gap against the run. Just going at it with intention, and getting to the spot and cutting through blockers.
And you say overshooting, that's no surprise. He's fast.
It's going to happen. But I'm fine with that. Make some mistakes, but make them fast for sure. I'm totally good with that. Ruben Hippolyte, I think, is the better overall player when you look at the skill sets between Noah Sewell and Ruben Hippolyte.
Me too. More well-rounded linebacker. For
sure. I don't know, but I feel a lot better about that third linebacker spot right now than I did last week. I'll say that.
Yeah,
but we'll see how it goes.
He said the depth looks better, and it does.
Yeah,
it does. It looks stronger than we all assumed it would be, especially since Noah Sewell's been on this football team for the last couple of years, and we didn't know the guy's name. You got which?
Yeah, I got one more, man, and I love this one, and hopefully you love it too. Kyle Monangai is already the running back 2 on this football team, and I don't think it's close. Watching Kyle Monangai run in one preseason game, I was more impressed. Just my eye test. You know, I do this all the time, Brandon, with running backs, with just players in general in the NFL. Like if you see it, just the way they move, the way their vision, the way they cut back, the running backs especially, like it just stands out to me. I saw more from Kyle Monangai in terms of running the football just in the one preseason game than I've seen from Roschon Johnson his whole career. Kyle Monangai right now is a better runner of the football than Roschon Johnson, and he is the number 2 running back on this team. I've been saying Roschon's going to get that opportunity first, but I think Kyle Monangai just went and fucking took it from him. Man.
He's one of those players, I don't think it's because of his build. He's a big guy, strong guy, but he's short. He's small, so he can keep his balance, man. He's one of those guys that can just. That's what I saw in Sunday's game.
He's got great vision.
He can keep his balance, and Roschon hasn't. I mean, Roschon's. I don't look at Roschon as like a broken tackle guy. I don't know. Like I see Monangai bouncing off people a little bit, man. But I don't know. I think Roschon.
I don't see Roschon finding cutback lanes,
plays, man. And that, God, we talk about Brisker. We never talk about Roschon in this light. He's never healthy.
Well,
and for a guy who hasn't done a whole
for
lot
him right now, it's a concern.
For a guy who hasn't really stood out when playing, you can't be unavailable all the time, man. I mean, this guy's had almost as many concussions as Jaquan Brisker. He's out today or now with like a foot thing or something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the guy needs to be on the field. Because I'll tell you this right now, Dustin, if Kyle Monangai is still available till the season starts and Roschon isn't, I would not be shocked one bit if Monangai is the guy who's getting majority of the carries behind DeAndre Swift.
The carries.
Listen, the carries.
The David Carries. Listen, you could give me them both healthy. Guarantee health for the entire season right now for both guys. Kyle Monangai is a better runner of the football than Roschon Johnson. And that matters to me. You can talk about his pass protection. Roschon Johnson right now is a better established pass protector in the NFL. I'm not going to argue that. Roschon Johnson is probably, I don't want to say for sure, but he's a damn good goal line running back, and he's a good power back for those situations. But in terms of a guy that can bring an element to that second running back
Roschon on this, right now would be great as a better receiver probably than Kyle Monangai.
Yeah, I mean, but
he was completely uninvolved in his collegiate career in the receiving game. 0%.
In terms of what a guy can bring a different element when they're on the field, in terms of actually just reading the blocks, finding some cutbacks, making smart, good, hard runs, and just making people miss. Kyle Monangai is much better at that right now than Roschon Johnson. And I don't think it's close. And then just to piggyback off of that, this running back room is a lot better than people are giving it credit for, in my mind. I think this season they're going to have a lot more success.
I think they're going to keep
Ian
Wheeler on their practice squad too, man. I do. I think he's going to be at a practice.
I just don't. I always tune out when someone brings up Ian Wheeler's name, man. I don't see anything or hear. It means
I would if Ryan Poles didn't like him as much as he does. All right, man. Mine is pretty traumatic. This last one is probably the
traumatic. Was that the word you're going to use? Traumatic.
Tremendous, because it's probably the least close to reality. I mean, it's probably the most on a limb, but it's been talked about a lot lately. So it's starting to intrigue me, and honestly, not in a bad way. TJ Edwards will play middle linebacker on this football team.
Real quick, I just thought, okay, TJ Edwards playing middle linebacker. I mean, the guest yesterday, Brendan, said that they had been alternating TJ Edwards.
Well, and it was talked about. I don't know if it was today or yesterday. Dennis Allen talked about it again too.
Yeah, he's using them around, and this is one I thought about too, but it felt like low hanging fruit. I just want to go back to what I said, Brent. Do you see what I see with Kyle Monangai? You were there
4 times, man.
It's just the way he runs.
The one run that he ran where
not even just that one.
He just looks like an extra effort guy to me, man. And Roschon Johnson can meet you at the line and beat you. He can get on the other side of you. You know what I mean? Like he could, if you're gonna hit at the line, he can get that yard, fall forward with you. I think Roschon's shown he's capable of that, just getting that yard. Kyle Monangai looks like he will effort will extend plays. That's what it looks like to me. He's the kind of guy that's not just going to get wrapped up. He's the kind of guy that's going to keep his legs moving.
Turn what would be third and shorts into first downs without the extra down.
And turn plays where he's hit almost immediately into 15-yard runs. Like I think he's a guy with a little extra effort that can extend plays.
I saw vision, I saw patience, I saw the hips, the way he's able to, swivel through that offensive line. Like I just saw more from him just in that little bit of playing time than I feel like I've seen from Roshan. And just seeing it, I just texted like that this. I texted you guys. This is done. Roshan is not going to have this job. Kyle Monungai is going to take it from him. Sorry, I'm just curious if you saw it because a lot of times we're simpatico in terms of like when we see a guy just like something stands out. He stood out in a big way to me on Sunday.
Yeah, I think
maybe it's a little different on TV though versus at the stadium.
And they were far away from us, man, when he was because he came in for like basically one drive. He wasn't really spread throughout the game. They were pretty far away from us. I was able to watch it where everybody else, like how everybody else does on the Jumbotron there. Yeah, watching the highlight. But like he does look to me like an impact runner, man. Like he's gonna like I said, effort's gonna lead to more yards. And I don't think it's gonna lead to like breaking big touchdowns. I think it's gonna lead to
He's not a breakaway player, no.
4 or 5 yards on a run because he's putting in a little extra effort. And I think that's a big deal. And I think that would impression on the coaching staff. And I think, listen,
his running style is more suited for this offense too.
I said this in the chat a couple weeks ago on Kyle and Sean's show. I think you can turn this guy into a really, really good receiving back, man. A threat of a receiver. I think Eric Bieniemy's going to do that. Eric Bieniemy's not going to put a guy in the field who's not getting better in that aspect of the game because Eric Bieniemy likes his running backs to be able to do that. And I think that Kyle Monungai is going to turn himself into a receiver. And listen, man, the guy is little. He's one of those guys you can kind of lose if he's making a chip at the line and then getting out for a route and Caleb's able to hit him in motion. He could be a really impact, like a Kareem Hunt. He can be an impact player like that in a different way.
Kareem Hunt is a good comparison for Kyle Monungai. I like that.
That would be awesome. You know what I mean?
TJ Edwards playing middle linebacker. I'll ask you this question. Does that mean that because Phil brought up Tremaine Edmonds, is he going to have a breakout season under Dennis Allen because he's been a disappointment so far? Doesn't that kind of just solidify the fact that he is a disappointment for the Chicago Bears team? They signed him as their middle linebacker and TJ Edwards as their will. And if they just switch that, and then because this guru, Dennis Allen, defensive guru, comes in and says, I want TJ Edwards to be my middle linebacker, is Edmonds going to be better at the will?
My impression of Tremaine Edmonds,
I don't think so.
And I want to say this without trying to insult this guy on a personal level. I don't know him. My impression of Tremaine Edmonds, the last staff didn't give him the green dot. He didn't get the play.
TJ Edwards had it, yeah.
They said they wanted him to focus less on that and focus more on the play itself. And
he didn't do that very well either.
And this defensive coach is already telling you, I'm moving the two interchangeably. I don't think that he's a quick learner, man. I don't think that he's a super intelligent guy when it comes to like a football IQ guy. I don't think.
What you want your middle linebacker to be, a guy that can diagnose what plays coming, communicate that to the rest of your defense.
It's dire.
Yeah. So I mean, listen, I guess that's a little bit out on a limb, but given the fact that all this stuff is being reported, and we know TJ Edwards had the green dot, and and Tremaine Edmonds did not, like it's not that far fetched, honestly. Like it could possibly happen. All I'm saying is, if that does happen, that's a big indictment.
You're going to be going to draft a linebacker next year, I think, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. And then that list of things you need to draft in next year's draft keeps growing. I hope Tremaine Edmonds has a bounce back season, but I think that's going to need to be at middle linebacker. I don't think switching his position right now is what's best for him figuring that out. William says, love to earn your spot, Dick of football style. Johnson can still crack helmets with a hole. Yeah, Roshan can. He that's what he does. That's like his main skill that he's shown with the Bears so far. I just think Kyle Monungai can do that.
What I mean,
but I'm saying Kyle Monungai can do that, but he can also do more in terms of running the football. That's all.
I mean, honestly, I've been trying to avoid saying that, Dustin, but it's the honest to God truth. The thing that Roshan's best at, as far as we've seen so far,
a lot of people can do.
And Kyle Monangai could, if he's even a halfway decent football player,
he can do that.
He can do it. DeAndre Swift just can't. I don't like. But most running backs in the NFL today,
and we spent a lot of time talking about the running back position and that being one of the things that could derail this season a couple of weeks ago. And my main point was you need a running back, that number 2 running back, to establish themselves as more than just a power running back. They need to bring more to the game, and I just think Kyle Monangai can do that, which would then make your offense less predictable, which is going to be important. If Roshan's on the field and he's your best goal line back, you kind of know what's going to happen. And sometimes you got to just say, okay, we're lining up across from you and we're going to kick your ass, and that's just what it is. Roshan will be great for moments like that. But as the full-time second back, I just think Monangai brings more to the table from what I saw in very limited action.
Yeah, I think, and I hate to, because for the last couple of years, man, we've seen very, very, very few in minor situations where we see Travis Homer, whoever the third guy is on this football team. I could see Roshan ultimately playing a role like that and then no longer being a member of this football team. Now, listen, I'm not hating on Roshan. I'm going to get text tomorrow. If he doesn't prove that he's more than what we've seen so far, even if he's good at 1-yard carries, there's no reason.
That's not enough to keep you on a team.
To retain the football.
That's not enough to keep you on a team. So no, it's not.
Especially
if they can't stay healthy.
And
especially if they can't stay healthy, Brent.
And I'm going to agree with you. And credit. I'm going to pat myself on the back. I think Kareem Hunt would be a good comparison if this guy can get himself a little bit more involved in the receiving aspect of this position, man. If he has that impact, a Kareem Hunt-like impact.
Did you just say I agree with you? I did make a good point. That's basically what you just said. And Dustin, I agree with you. My point was really good.
Yeah, that's what I said. I thought I was kind of hoping you said something right after I said it. But I think if he had that Kareem Hunt-like impact, Dustin, are you ever not having DeAndre Swift or Kyle Monangai on the field?
No, that's what it is, Besides those moments where it's just
Kareem Hunt,
what we're gonna do, and we're gonna just kick your ass at it. Like Roshan will be great for those moments, but like that's not the crux of Ben Johnson's offense. I think you need to bring a little more to the table, and I just think Monangai does. That's all, bro. We got to get to this QB list. We're at 2 hours. We're at 2 hours. 5. Yeah, man. I liked everybody's hot takes. Appreciate the comments, guys. Keep them coming. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Make sure you're subscribed if you are not already. Subscribe twice. Tell a friend. We appreciate y'all. Just broke 600 subscribers. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
It is. And we appreciate you guys
moving along.
It's definitely those milestones mean a lot to us. Kyle shared that in a text today. I actually had to open the phone and look at it because that's how surreal it is, man. It is. And that's a minor number compared to, these viral, whatever you want to call them. Whoever's doing anything, influencing, podcasting, whatever it might be. But a little at a time, man. And
we're about to hit our 1-year anniversary. So that's
we can't put in words how much we appreciate all you guys that come in here and just chat with us, man. Not the views. How much you just come in here and you shoot the shit about the Bears like we have our whole life. Because Dustin said it. Well, if it's just between the 4 of us, it doesn't get as interesting as when you put 40 other minds into a conversation, and the story doesn't move forward the same. So we appreciate you guys with the banter, and we even appreciate the guys who come in here, the Anthros, man, those guys who come in here and throw shade on Caleb and do your thing, because we like to approach those conversations as well, man. And speaking of Caleb, Dustin, I think we should do this first to worst, right?
No, worst to first.
Okay.
Worst to first. That's the same way we did the power rankings for the NFL teams. We're going to do our power rankings of NFL quarterbacks, and we're just going to do 32 to 1. We're going to have to go through this pretty quickly, but I just wanted to organically come up with this list, man.
I got the first 3 already dictated.
Well, you don't, because we got to talk about it. So who's 32 to me is whoever Cleveland's quarterback is, right? Okay, so we're on the same, but Cleveland QB. That could be.
We could say right now on their unofficial depth chart was Kenny Pickett, so we'll roll with that name.
I thought it was Joe Flacco.
He's injured though.
I thought it was Flacco and then Pickett and then Gabriel and then
Sanders. It was
yeah,
Flacco, yeah. So
which is worse than Pickett.
And they added Tyler Huntley. I don't know what that means. And they they drafted 2 quarterbacks, guys.
Gabriel's gonna.
We talk about
Gabriel's gonna start. Dylan Gabriel's gonna start this preseason game. Actually, I saw it reported. So
listen,
that's a dumpster fire. That's a shit
I like
show.
That kid at Oregon, but like he's like 5'9", man. I just
no, it's not going to go well for him, I don't believe. Or the Cleveland quarterbacks in general. I mean, the best option they have to me is Shedeur Sanders, and I don't know if he's going to get any starting time this year. I think if the Browns are smart, they would. 31, I mean, honestly, 32, 31, 30.
Shock. Huh? It's Shock. It's this kid
I would propose the Colts. Honestly, I think 32, 31, 30, you could put them in any real order, and I feel just as terrible about all of them. Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones, that is rough. But yeah, Shuck, if he's your best option, the Saints really should have drafted Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, because at least Anthony Richardson's not a rookie, man. We can at least I think if
Daniel Jones
these two guys are in an even race, and I'm saying that. And I'm still putting Cam Ward above these two. Whoever starts for the Colts, Dustin, Cam Ward is better. Okay,
I'm curious to see where Cam Ward ends up falling on this, and we might go back and change some things. And guys, if we're missing something, or if you all got a suggestion, please throw them in the chat. Participate in this conversation. But right now we got 32 Cleveland QB, 31 is Shuck. In terms of the worst quarterbacks in the league, we're starting worst to first. And then right after that, is it Indianapolis to you?
Yeah, or it is. Yeah, it is, because Anthony Richardson's egregious, and he is going to be their starting quarterback. They're not moving off that yet, man. So yeah, I'd go there, and then
Anthony Richardson is 30.
And before I throw Cam Ward out there, and a lot of people right now are saying no, you just can't. He's a rookie. You have to put him in there.
We got to put Justin Fields. What about Justin Fields?
I was going to say the Giants QB situation, because I think that's terrible too.
Okay, so we're in the Meadowlands.
Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston and Jackson Dart, who might be a good player, but probably not week 1 in the NFL, man.
I like Jackson Dart better than Justin Fields. I'll say that.
I like the idea. And we got then market 0.
I like the idea of Jackson Dart better than I like the idea of Justin Fields. I got to say, but also I'll just throw another one out there just for conversation's sake. JJ McCarthy. JJ McCarthy needs to be talked about here pretty soon.
I'd put Fields behind McCarthy.
Really? So you like the idea of JJ McCarthy more than Justin Fields?
I like the
I don't know if I do.
Yes, because now I'm viewing because now I'm saying I like the Vikings. I like whatever Kevin O'Connell's going to try to do.
Improved offensive line.
That abysmal organization that is probably going to ruin Aaron Glenn. Honestly, man. The Jets make me feel good about being a Bears fan. So, and Justin Fields.
All right, we're doing it.
I watched
29.
I watched that shit.
29 Justin Fields. We're doing it.
And then I think you can go directly to where you said. I think we can go to JJ McCarthy for sure.
Or before the Giants.
Yes. Russell Wilson or Jameis Winston will at least throw the touchdowns. McCarthy's going to struggle in that area specifically. I think most throwing balls in the red zone. JJ McCarthy's going to struggle. JJ
McCarthy. Is there anyone we're missing? What about? Is Michael Penix worth a conversation here?
No, not yet.
No. Okay. What about Bryce Young? Bryce Young worth a conversation here?
Not even close.
Okay. What about Geno Smith? Not even close either, right? Yeah. No. What are we missing? Are we missing Aaron Rodgers? I got to throw some Aaron Rodgers out here too, Brandon. I want to. Aaron Rodgers is 40 years old. There's been one quarterback that's played playoff football as a 40-year-old.
Yeah,
and that's Tom Brady.
Aaron
Rodgers was really bad last year.
Aaron Rodgers, really Russell Wilson. I think we've talked about this. It seems pretty comparative to me. Like I think Aaron Rodgers could do what Russell Wilson did on the Steelers last year.
Okay, I think JJ McCarthy is a complete bust. And I wish Carl was here because he said he had some quarterback list that he dropped in the chat, but we did not see it. Maybe they saw it on YouTube.
And it might be. If I have the tiers here, Dustin, if you want me to put that up there, but
the tiers for who?
the quarterback tiers that Sean and Kyle were talking that the Athletic reported yesterday.
No, I don't want that.
Yeah, no more tears.
I want ours to be no more tears.
That's how I did. R.I.P. Ozzy.
Yeah, no more tears. And I want this to be organic. I don't want this to be influenced.
And listen, man, we got to talk about Sam Darnold on the Seahawks because that's Sam Darnold minus Kevin O'Connell. I think that's a different conversation.
Okay,
man.
well let's get our thoughts are all over the place. We got Cleveland, New Orleans, that's Shuck, Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones, because that was how they listed their depth chart, or Daniel Jones. 29, Justin Fields. I love that. It's like the same place we had the Jets ranked.
That's where they fucking should.
Didn't we have the Jets ranked at 29 as well?
I think so, yeah.
JJ McCarthy at 28, who I think is a total fucking bust, and Vikings fans are about to be finding that out. Maybe JJ McCarthy could be their cheerleader after he busts out as their quarterback. It's possible.
Yeah,
we'll see how that.
He's probably made for that.
20. This is fun. I'm having fun. This is cool. Chat's not really saying nothing, but it's okay. 27. Then we're going the Giants. Whoever their quarterback is.
We got one in the chat. He says Love.
We went over that.
Thought he was talking about Jordan Love. I was going to say that's right. Throw him in there now.
A little bit of a premature chatulation for you there, Brandon.
Nice. I'll give it.
That was a good one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's getting late. JJ McCarthy's 28. Bust. JJ McCarthy's a bust. Who's 27? Are we going Giants?
Yeah,
I
like Aaron Rodgers on the Steelers better than Russell Wilson on the Giants, man.
Okay, so Giants QB, whoever that is, just because I guess it's
Russell.
It's Russell Wilson, but yeah. So Russell Wilson's 27.
I do still love Malik Neighbors, but I think Rodgers.
Yeah, Neighbors is gonna have a hell of a season.
I think Rodgers is on a better run team, and that'll give him a better season and result. That's just how those two guys are in the same position to me in their careers. They're shells of what they used to be, man. I like the Steelers having more success than I like Malik Neighbors, but I love DK Metcalf and Aaron Rodgers, man. I mean, DK Metcalf to me is a must-own fantasy player on that Steelers team. So, yeah, I'm going Aaron Rodgers, and then I'll say
Aaron Rodgers 26, A-Rod 26, huh? I like that. I don't think he's in for a good season at all with the Steelers. I really don't.
So we did Russell Wilson, then Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yep.
And then I'll say Sam Darnold, man, because I know he had a good season. I know he did, man, and he played well, and it's not just a product of, or it's not just a result of Kevin O'Connell. Darnold had to play the football as well, and he did it well. But
you put Sam Darnold below Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah.
Really?
This upcoming season, absolutely. Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas, something's gonna happen over there, man. I'm watching these two kids in camp, Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas. You can tell the entire team knows they have something. You know what I mean?
You put Sam Darnold below Cam Ward? I kind of like that. I think Cam Ward's going to have a fucking awesome season, dude.
So do I. Really do. I said that in there. Kyle was like, I don't know what the expectation be because the Titans are bad. No. Titans don't have to be good for Cam Ward to do his thing, man.
Cam Ward's going to have one of those rookie seasons, man.
That's what I said.
Like Cam Newton. Like Cam Newton had with a bad Panthers team. Like,
he's going to snap, man. I think he's going to snap. I like Sam Darnold behind them for sure. 100%.
Okay, so Sam Darnold, we're going Sam Darnold at 25. Anybody else in that division, the NFC West, we're interested in? Kyler Murray, Brock Purdy. I don't think Matthew Stafford is even close to being in the conversation at this point. I think right now, if we're talking, we got Sam Darnold 25. Now we're getting into Cam Ward or Trevor Lawrence territory. I believe. I'm not ready to put Cam Ward down. I'll put Trevor Lawrence down here. This guy.
I would put a guy here that a lot of chat. This is where we're gonna lose. Like some of the people are gonna say we're just on some bullshit.
I think we've already lost him. But go ahead.
Tua is somewhere in this fucking.
Can we put Tua below Sam Darnold, please? Can we move Tua to 25 and put Sam Darnold at 24, please? Yeah.
I mean. We're gonna catch grief for that, Dustin, but I'm not a fucking believer. Listen,
man. You see the fact that offense doesn't really function without Tua, and everybody makes that point, but it's like also they don't have a fucking backup quarterback worth of shit. It was like Skylar Thompson coming in. They're like, oh, the offense doesn't work when Tua's not out there. Well, that's because you might as well have
There was a guy who
out
played
there.
a game, man. I don't even know who he is. I'll never know his name again. There was a guy who played one game who was some nobody I'd never heard of, and I'll never hear his name.
I love this list already.
I'm listen, man. If you put a guy like the Jaden Daniels on that football team, like even anyone, man, any good quarterback you throw on that Miami team with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Devon A. Chain, it's gonna be better than it is with Tua, man. It's just I'm a non-believer, guys. We don't have to beat that up too much. You guys can disagree.
Tua's 25 on our list. I just don't think has that good of an arm, and he can't stay healthy either. So like that's a problem as well. Sam Darnold, then we'll put at 24 because I think he is better than Tua. Honestly, I think he'll play better than Tua this year too.
Yeah, I think it's responsible to put Cam Ward here, man. He's a rookie.
That's Cam.
Things could go abysmally bad as well.
Yeah, Cam Ward, Trevor Lawrence, Michael Penix. I think those are the three guys right now that we're talking about. Can I interest you in some Jordan Love? All right, we're going Cam Ward at 23. I like that we put him there but I think he has potential to shoot up.
I think he's going to be incredible, guys. I think he's going to be a really good pro. But I do think this. I don't know yet how I feel about Brian Callahan. I'm standing at ease with this, man. I'm erring on the side of caution. He's been entertaining to watch because he says things that make me laugh. Like my quarterback is dumb. Didn't he say that when the second consecutive?
He didn't say that,
well,
but
he made a
called
dumb
his quarterback out.
My quarterback made a dumb. That's what he said. My quarterback made a dumb mistake, but he was honest as honest could be. But he also looked like he was he didn't have it under control. I saw that a few times after games, man. I was like,
I don't want to spend.
Like he's losing his shit, man.
We're at 2 hours and 10 minutes. Let's not spend too much time talking about Callahan. But yeah, Cam Ward at 23. 22, again, we're talking. I think Bryce Young comes in the conversation. I think Michael Penix is here. I think Trevor Lawrence is here. Do you put Drake May in this conversation in this area?
I think it's safe to put Penix, actually, man. And then, I think Penix. I think we'll go
Penix. Penix. I mean, I am not I have never seen a generational quarterback make such routine throws look so hard as Trevor Lawrence, dude. I really just a simple out route.
Yeah, I don't know. I
can't put the ball there.
Should Penix be there, man? Because
Penix has not earned shit. He hasn't done anything.
He's a gunslinging lefty. He's going to be exciting to watch. Man.
He is, but he also he played a few games last year. I mean, Trevor Lawrence has played more, so it's like it would feel weird putting Penix above Trevor Lawrence, but I just don't believe in Trevor Lawrence at all. But if you're going to have a year where you got Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas to throw to, like, it's time to get off, man. It's time to start doing something. If you're Trevor Lawrence, this is a make or break year. I'm going to put him at 21. T-Law at 21.
Sure,
you good with that?
Yeah. And I think another one more. Probably, you might disagree with me yourself, but God damn it! I just lost him, man. I lost it. You got to like write these things. You're writing them down. That's like because I've had
I'm writing them down as we go.
I've lost the name like 10 times on these quarterback ratings, man. There's a guy it'll come to me. It's a player who everybody else loves and thinks is a really good player, and I think much less of them. It'll come to me, man.
Geno Smith this is Geno Smith territory. This is Bryce Young territory, Brandon. That's where and I'll say this. I think Bryce Young is in for a breakout season. I think he's going to have a really good year. That T-Mac connection looks like
CJ Stroud is. I think CJ Stroud's going to have a middle of the. I don't know, man. I don't
listen. I can see that offensive line is going to be bad. That I don't necessarily believe in that Houston Texans team, and I don't know if I'm going to pick them to win that division. I don't know yet. But I think CJ Stroud is better than all the guys we have listed so far, and I don't think you can put him below Bryce Young right now. I don't think you can put him below the guy I just mentioned that I'm now playing
Trevor
on there.
Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence I already put down. That's in pen, so that's not coming up. It's Bryce Young here. It's Who else? Geno Smith.
Insane. No, I think Geno Smith before Bryce Young, man. Listen,
Geno Smith.
Bryce Young finished the last 9 games scoring 18 touchdowns to 3 interceptions.
I really like Bryce Young this year, man. I really do.
That's 18 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. I mean, he had 13 touchdowns in the air and he ran for 5, and he threw 3 interceptions over the course of the last 9 games. He just got, listen, man, you were wrong, Dustin, and it's okay. Tetairoa McMillan is a monster, and he's going to be a monster.
Listen, we got to see how it plays out, but yeah, he looks dominant. He looks dominant, and that looks like a connection.
Like a really damn good NFL. He looks like he's
an unstoppable connection potentially. That Bryce Young.
He looks like he's going to be the best receiver from this draft. He does.
Okay, so 19, can we go Drake May? Is that a good spot for Drake May?
I think Bryce Young should be before. Drake May will probably have a better year than Bryce Young.
I don't want to put Bryce Young below Drake May. I'd rather put Drake May here.
We already put
Drake May has had some bad moments in this offseason. Drake May, I said Drake May was going to be a bust, and I could end up being wrong about that, but the jury's still out. I don't know what Drake May is going to be. He could be a top 10 fantasy quarterback this year. He could be your next Josh Allen, or he could be a fucking bust. I don't know. So I have more faith in Bryce Young this year.
Let's go Drake May there then.
Okay, so then it's Bryce Young from there. Are we missing anybody else? 18, we got Bryce Young. I like it. That's high for Bryce Young for us, isn't it? I'm excited for that. I'm curious to see the kind of season he has. I do expect him to take a big step forward this year with how he plays quarterback.
You know where I stand on him, man. I think that he's a much better player than.
Yep.
That people were so quick to put the verdict out on a guy like Bryce Young, and he improved last year tremendously, where CJ Stroud to me regressed. So the verdict talking about the verdict still out. The verdict to me is still out on who the best quarterback from that class is.
I agree. I think Bryce Young could still establish himself as that guy. And this list, if it's anything, it's controversial for sure. We're putting some.
I think I would
ruffle some feathers. I think.
You're not gonna. Purdy and Murray are now in the topic of CJ Stroud.
Purdy is a much better quarterback than Kyler Murray. I'm not having that.
CJ Stroud to me is
I take Purdy over CJ Stroud too.
Would you take Purdy Would you take Murray over Stroud?
No, I would not. I would put Stroud ahead of Kyler Murray. So are we in Kyler Murray territory right now? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, I think
that makes total sense. Middle of the pack. The guy likes to play Call of Duty more than he likes to study football sometimes. So, I mean, that makes sense for Kyler Murray.
Okay, are we in the Lamar Jackson conversation?
Are we in the Caleb Williams conversation? We're about halfway through here. We're at number 16. Like, where are we putting?
Yeah, we're definitely in that neck of the woods. There's no doubt.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. There's not.
Actually, man.
There's not an NFC North quarterback that I want to rank Caleb Williams below.
Yeah.
And we've only got one on this list so far.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. No, I was just about to say to you, I think we need to talk about Jordan Love or Jared Goff. Listen, this is strictly based on how me and you, Dustin, seem to be pretty in sync on how we view a guy, regardless of what the numbers say. Jared Goff's a good quarterback. I don't
want him to be my quarterback.
If you put Jared Goff on the fucking Seahawks, I don't love Jared. Same as Sam Darnold. You know what I mean? I don't love Jared Goff.
And this year's going to really show something in terms of not having Ben Johnson there anymore.
Exactly. If Jared Goff's not playing for Sean McVay or Ben Johnson, I'm not sold that Jared Goff's the same player we've been watching.
Sean McVay wasn't sold on Jared Goff.
I think Jordan Love comes before Goff, though.
Yeah, I do too. So are we at Jordan Love?
Yeah.
Are we missing anybody? Okay, I'm willing to write down Jordan Love's name right now.
He's writing it down, guys.
I got it written down.
It's down.
15. So I mean, NFC South, we already got Penix and Bryce Young out there, and we got Shuck out there. So
listen,
Baker's going to be up there, I think, on our list.
CJ Stroud is here for me.
CJ Stroud, 15?
I like
Over.
Caleb better than Stroud, man.
Okay. Let's do it. I like it.
I like Bo Nix better than Stroud. Right.
Bo Nix needs to start coming up though. Bo Nix
He's
needs to start coming up.
3,800 yards and like 29 touchdown. I mean, as a rookie, this guy, Bo Nix is not talked about
But
enough.
would
He's
CJ Stroud
not.
CJ Stroud perform better in Sean Payton's offense?
No,
CJ Stroud is a very talented quarterback.
I think from this season on, Dustin Bo Nix is going to be a better player than CJ Stroud.
I just don't think CJ Stroud has had that. Bo Nix went into a perfect situation. He
did exactly what a good he struggled for the first few weeks, and then he looked like the same Bo Nix I watched at Oregon. Man.
Yeah, and then he struggled again, and then he had some ups and downs, man. It wasn't just like a straight line.
He was a top 10 quarterback statistically in the NFL. He was a rookie, man. This kid's about to be really damn good.
You're not acknowledging the point I'm making, though. CJ Stroud has not had Sean Payton tailor the offense to him. That does make a difference. No, we're talking about straight talent, talent in the pocket, and talent arm-wise. I think
much better receivers. That's undebatable.
Were they healthy? I mean, I think CJ Stroud is a more talented quarterback than Bo Nix. I think the situation benefits Bo Nix an awful lot. And Bo Nix's name is going to come up here very soon for us. He is not going to be. Is Bo better than Caleb?
You can put him now, but I don't think I'm not putting him behind Stroud.
I mean, I already wrote down Stroud's name. It's done. Yeah. It's in ink. It's over with.
So we can put Bo Nix now.
You don't put Bo Nix above Caleb? Are we being fair? Are we being good? Like, are we just being biased fans? Is what I'm asking.
Well, no, I'm thinking Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, and the weapons. Like,
so kind of what I was just talking about. What Bo Nix had last year, you think Caleb has this year? That consistent voice in his ear. That's a real offensive mastermind.
And I think Caleb's more talented than most of the quarterbacks in the NFL.
Okay, so but again,
so if 95% of them, I think his physical ability is better than.
So you didn't want to acknowledge my point with CJ Stroud when it comes to this, but if you put Caleb Williams with Sean Payton on that Denver team last year, does his season go different than it did here in Chicago with the dumpster fire of offensive?
I think if you put any quarterback on Sean Payton's team,
is it a yes or no? Yeah, it's going to be better.
And we can measure that 100 ways. You could say.
But you just said Caleb Williams is a more talented quarterback than him. So CJ Stroud is a more talented quarterback.
Can I say if I throw Patrick Mahomes on the Browns, he's a worse quarterback than Bo Nix? Like, no, I understand what you're getting. Talent is talent. Yeah, I don't know that CJ Stroud is more talented. I don't know that I agree with that sentiment.
Do you know if you disagree with it?
Bo Nix is a really solid pocket passer, man, and
Bo Nix is not as talented as CJ Stroud. I just can't even entertain that.
Time will tell. I think that's
no, it won't, because Bo Nix is going to be in this system. He's blessed to be in a system where Sean Payton is not,
and he can really throw the football.
That's good. Yeah, but CJ Stroud can throw the ball better. He can.
I think CJ Stroud can extend plays better. I think he can run a little bit. I like CJ Stroud as a mobile quarterback. I don't know if he throws the ball better though.
So Caleb Williams is better than Bo Nix. So we're going Bo Nix here. Yeah. Is that where we fall after our little bit of an argument there?
I don't think it's just debate, man. But yeah, I think
I'll stop. I'm just trying to be colorful with my language.
Yeah. I think Caleb Williams is next for sure. I was doing this off the top of my head like an idiot for the last 20 minutes, man. I finally got the quarterback list pulled up in front of me.
This is the bare minimum, ladies and gentlemen. We now have the ability to pull up the quarterbacks of the NFL on a screen in front of us while we do a ranking of quarterbacks.
All right, we are definitely in the Matthew Stafford, Dak Prescott.
We're going Goff. We're going Goff right.
Did we put Kyler Murray down already?
Yeah, we did. Kyler Murray's 17. We're going Goff here, Brandon.
I thought we already did Goff.
No, we did not. We have Kyler Murray, Jordan Love, Stroud, Bo Nix, Goff. Do you want to flip Bo Nix and Goff? I don't give a shit.
No, let's go Bo Nix, Goff. Goff has been solid, man. He was an MVP. He was in the MVP conversation a couple years ago.
Okay. So then 12 is probably Caleb Williams.
Either Caleb, Caleb for sure.
That's Caleb Williams, right? We're going Caleb Williams as the 12th ranked quarterback in the NFL with absolutely nothing to base that off of besides our Bears fans' hopes.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. You guys gotta like this list. If anything, it's genuine.
I think we're in the Brock Purdy conversation without a doubt.
Okay, I mean I could entertain that. List them off. Who's our 12 guys left? We got Baker Mayfield,
Dak Prescott. Listen, we're Matthew Stafford, Dak Prescott, Herbert, or Purdy. That's where we're at right now for me.
I'm not putting Purdy below Dak. Dak's going on this list next.
You're not, what about Herbert?
I put Herbert over Purdy. I would put Herbert over Purdy.
What about
Stafford?
Stafford.
I put Stafford over Purdy right now too.
Okay.
Purdy needs to show a little more this
So we're
season,
going Dak then Purdy?
Dak at 11, Purdy at 10. I like that. I got to say this.
Purdy cracked the top 10, and statistically he should. So
yeah. He's been one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL that no one wants to acknowledge.
Yeah, that's going to be another thing that the viewers who watch this are going to be like, nah, but it's
look at his stats.
So
look at his stats.
And
look at his team's success. They had one bad season.
But Dustin, what I love about Purdy
took his team to a Super Bowl.
The stats that matter most that you don't hear about. It's not the touchdowns and yards thing, man. His completion.
But even those, Brandon.
No, I know. Those are going to be there because of what I'm about to say. His completion percentage is outrageous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the guy just plays efficient football.
His yards per attempt is one of the best in the league
and you always know when he has a turnover game because he has like 2 or 3, and then he doesn't have a turnover for like 4 games in a row. I mean, the guy's top 10 Purdy. That shouldn't shock or surprise anyone, and I think that falls in line.
I want to make this.
Then we're going.
Okay. Real quick, Brandon. Since we're in, you keep bringing up Justin Herbert, and we're in that conversation. I just want to say this because I have this feeling that I cannot get away from when it comes to Justin Herbert. He's been this guy that everyone says is supposed to be the best thrower and he is one of the best throwers of football I've seen. Honestly, he does it better than a lot of people, but he hasn't put it all together. In his second year with Jim Harbaugh, we are talking about Justin Herbert as a top 5 quarterback this year. I'm not going to put him as top 5 on this list, but I just want to say, like, Justin Herbert gets to like that Joe Burrow level this year. I see that happening. I could be off my rocker. I could be crazy. Justin Herbert has all the physical tools, and he has not put it together. I think it happens this year for Justin Herbert. I just want to say that.
Yeah,
I don't know. What do you think of that?
I bet on him as a 4,000-yard player.
Well, that's simple. That's
FanDuel.
I'm more talking about the touchdown to interception.
I don't know about
ratio.
Joe Burrow because I just because Jim Harbaugh doesn't like that kind of football. Jim Harbaugh likes to rely.
I think when you go draft Trey Harris and you got Ladd McConkey, and obviously they're going to run the football, and Jim Harbaugh wants to do that. But Justin Herbert, I mean, just like making winning plays, and he has the arm talent to really light up the fucking league. He's not going to put up 5,000 yards like Pat Mahomes did. That's not what I'm saying.
Could see him being like the equivalent of like a Baker Mayfield, how he's been in Tampa Bay, man, like 4,200 yards and high touchdown numbers.
And Brandon, I got to make this point while we're talking about this because I keep thinking about this because you've made the point often about Jared Goff being without Ben Johnson and how much you expect that to impact him. Why are we not having that conversation about Baker Mayfield and Liam Cohen being gone? Why has that conversation not come up with Baker Mayfield?
I'm not as concerned about it.
Yeah, but why? That's the question. Why? I think it's about the same.
Because I don't think Baker's not as much of is relying on the
system quarterback
as Jared Goff is. I think Baker Mayfield has the ability to extend plays. He's really hard to tackle. He was like annoyingly hard to tackle when the Bears played him.
But the thing about Baker is he wasn't the quarterback he's been until he got with Liam Cohen. He was solid at Cleveland, and then he bounced around.
Well, no, I thought Liam Cohen was only his offense coordinator for last season. I thought.
Well, he was on the team as something. He's been with Baker Mayfield since he was on that.
I don't think he was their play caller 2 years ago when Baker he had his first 4,000-yard season. I don't think it was him, man.
Okay, well, we got to look into. All I'm saying is, I think that system was really well designed by Liam Cohen for Baker Mayfield, and I think that concern really should exist to some extent for Baker Mayfield. But you make a good point that he is not dependent upon the system as much as Jared Goff.
And Liam Cohen also wasn't, and a lot of people are talking about Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence. Liam Cohen doesn't have a reputation of like fixing or improving quarterbacks so much, man.
Yeah,
He
he hasn't
made
really been
he
around
made
enough to do it
he made
either.
the Tampa Bay run game ranked 32nd in the league, the last place run game in the league, 8th in the league the following season.
So Liam
So
Cohen was an offensive coordinator for 1 year and got a head coaching job off of that. That don't
look it up,
sound
man.
right to
I
me.
don't know. I just don't think that Baker Mayfield depends on the offense, the play caller in order. Listen, man, there's also a difference. That offense, and nobody's really agreed with me on this yet when I say it, man. That offense has the potential to be the best in the
Yeah,
NFL. It does.
yeah. 1 year as offensive, he was
That's
offensive
what I
coordinator for the
that's what
Rams
I
in
thought,
20.
man. I think it was like Byron Leftwich or
He
somebody
and
the
he
year
bou-
before.
he kept bouncing back to Kentucky. He was offensive coordinator for the Rams in 22. Then went back to Kentucky after being at Kentucky the year before that, and then he was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive coordinator for 1 year.
I think it was like Byron Leftwich or something. Or no, he was the quarterback coach. I
Okay,
forget
yeah,
who it
no,
was.
let me go back to the fact that I think Liam Cohen is going to be a bust as a head coach, and yeah, Baker Mayfield's going to be fine without Liam Cohen.
Well, and
I think we're probably right about
Liam
that.
Cohen. So
Let me just go back to that.
you got to think about this, man. People have a reputation in doing something well, and that gets them promoted in the NFL. Liam Cohen has never been preached as a guy who fixes quarterbacks. He's not. It's not the like.
Yeah, he hasn't
He's
earned that reputation. Yeah, he
he's
hasn't.
not the West Coast offense. He's not those guys that the Sean McVays, the Kyle Shanahans, the Ben Johnson. He turned a team that had no ability to run the football into one of the best running football teams in the league, and made a mid-grade draft pick one of the best running backs in the
All right,
NFL by the end of last season.
let's get to
So
number 9 here, Brandon. What do we?
Liam Cohen Dustin can fix a team that can't run the ball,
Yeah, we'll
and
see how that
The
goes for him in
Jaguars can't do it.
Jacksonville.
And do you
I
think
don't.
Trevor Lawrence isn't affected by their
And that
inability to
offensive
run the
line is
football?
trash. That offensive line in Tampa was really good. I don't think Liam Cohen fixes Trevor Lawrence or Jacksonville, but we'll see how
If
it
he
goes.
can get some run established, Trevor Lawrence will get better naturally.
Well, that offensive line is still going to suck in Jacksonville.
So it's either Herbert or Stafford here. You have
I'm gonna,
obviously Stafford.
I'm gonna go.
You
I
have
don't have.
Stafford here now.
Yeah, Stafford. We're going Stafford here at number 9. So we got the last two NFC West quarterbacks right there. Stafford is in for some regression, right? I mean, just based on what he's done in his career and how well he's played the last couple of years, even dealing with injury and going to Super Bowl, winning that. I mean, like Stafford earns that, but I think he's in for regression this year, and he's he's injured right now.
I'm completely content with putting Stafford right here.
Okay,
right now.
Number 8, then it's Herbert, and that's it. That's our only option. What else do we got?
You're getting into some pretty damn good names here now.
Baker.
So
listen, I would like to put Herbert above Baker Mayfield. I know you're probably going to fight me pretty hard on that, but
yeah,
it's Herbert, Mayfield, and who?
I mean, then another name that I would. Jalen Hurts is probably starting to get into the conversation. To me, it's just
and Jaden Daniels needs to get this conversation.
I think Jaden Daniels is going to be a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts is, man. But I don't know. I could be wrong about that. Not in terms of what he accomplishes. But
I'm okay with putting Herbert here if you want to put Hurts above. I think Hurts needs to come up though. Like,
let's go Herbert and Daniels.
Herbert?
I expect some regression from Daniels. Let's go Herbert here. Let's go Daniels next. And then I'll go Hurts.
We're going to put Daniels in front of Herbert? Yeah. I mean, Daniels was really good last year. But
Baker next.
All right. What if we just switch Daniels and Herbert? What if we put Daniels at 8 and put Herbert at 7?
Okay.
Are you going to complain much about that?
No, that's you believe in Herbert being one of those dudes, man. He threw 5,000 yards. The guy, he's done some things that not many quarterbacks in the NFL have
and
done.
I think this season is when he puts it all together and he has the stats and his team wins. I think like you could see the Chargers winning that division. I think that's
Jim
a tough
Harbaugh
division.
has a knack for getting his team to championships, man. I told you guys this last year. The Chargers going to a Super Bowl in the very near future would not surprise me one bit, because Jim Harbaugh
You
Just
told
fucking
me last year. I was the guy who picked the Chargers to go to the playoffs last year. I know 100%.
I know, and when the playoffs came around, I was saying to you, it would not shock me one bit if the Chargers just won all the way through.
It would have shocked me a little bit,
especially
if
since
they
that
did,
Chiefs team, to me, I was saying all year last year, man, that Chiefs team was not the same Chiefs team. But listen, Jim Harbaugh has done this everywhere he goes, and it doesn't take long. It never takes long. It's like
this could be that year.
It's like a 2-year process for this guy to put his team into a championship, man. Win or lose, he ends up being one of the best. And I have no doubt in my mind that he will do that with that Chargers program. And Omarion Hampton is a really good fucking place to start, man.
Yeah, man.
For the offense he's gonna run.
And they signed Najee Harris, who has not had less than 1,000-yard rushing season since he's been in the NFL. So like they've and that offensive line is still good even without Slater.
So it's obvious. So I think it's Herbert after Daniels, and then I think you got to go
Hurts,
Baker, and then Hurts.
Ooh, really? We almost had Baker Mayfield as a top 5 quarterback. I like that. Baker Mayfield's our 6th best.
Dude, that offense is just so good.
It is, and Mayfield's really
have you been
good. He's
watching,
one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch, man.
Have you seen, when looking at the videos I've been sending you guys of Emeka Egbuka in camp?
Yeah, I'd already seen him when you sent him.
Dude, he might be the best receiver on that football team. And they have Mike Evans. Like, Emeka Egbuka is insane.
Emeka Egbuka is a guy that he was my number 1 hope to fall to 39 to the Bears. Like with that slot receiver, but that was never going to happen.
Very good football player, and he's going to be an incredible football player for Baker Mayfield.
Yep.
There's no doubt.
So we're going Hurts above Mayfield? You sure? You're sure?
Hurts is still Hurts, man. He ran for 14 touchdowns last year. I mean, he's still like he provides.
He just won a Super Bowl.
That Jaden Daniels, where you said, man, it's hard to defend this guy.
And he's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's been to 2 Super Bowls.
No matter what he's doing with the football, carry or throw, he's a threat to me. A lot of people believe he's not a good passer, man. I
fucking love this list. I wanted to recap it before we got into the top 5, but I mean, right now I'll just do it real quick. Cleveland is our 32nd. Shuck, number 31. And I just said Cleveland because we don't know, and it's all trash. And 30 is Anthony Richardson. 29, Justin Fields. Gotta love that. 28, J.J. McCarthy. Fuck yeah. 27, Russell Wilson, Giants quarterbacks. 26, Aaron Rodgers. I think he's in for a rough season, man. 25, Tua. 24, Sam Darnold. 23, Cam Ward. I think he's going to have one of those really good rookie seasons that we talk about for a while. Penix at 22. Trevor Lawrence at 21. Geno Smith at 20. I was surprised we got him up that high, but he'll be competent with that Raiders team and with Pete Carroll, I think.
He's back with his coach.
19, Drake May, just edging out Geno Smith. 18, Bryce Young, who we both think is in for a breakout season and a better season than CJ Stroud. I think we're both kind of in line on that. Yeah. Kyler Murray at 17. He's always just middle of the pack guy. That's
we have CJ Stroud ahead.
yeah. I mean, based on what we've seen and those things, like it makes sense. But I could see those two flipping, Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, because Kyler Murray 17, Jordan Love 16, Stroud 15. I could see Young and Stroud flipping spots by the time the season's over. Or Bryce Young even going up a little higher than that. Yeah.
I could see Young starting this season tremendously on fire. I could see that.
Okay.
NFL works out this way. I've said it before. When you finish on a good note, you start on a good note the next season.
We're on fire on this show, Brandon. We're going way long. 14, Bo Nix. 13, Goff. 12 is Caleb. We got Caleb as the 12th best quarterback in the NFL. That feels a little biased, but I think we both had him as a top 10 fantasy quarterback on when we were talking about that.
10th.
Yeah. I think I had him 7th. So I'm expecting big things from Caleb. 11, Dak. 10, Purdy. And you know what? Fuck this. We're putting Stafford at 10, and we're putting Purdy at 9. I'm just decided that. Purdy's our 9th. Stafford is 10. Purdy's 9. I just believe that to be true. Sorry. You good with that? You're okay.
8 on my fantasy team. Even last year when he was one of his
he's a damn good quarterback.
One of his worst seasons last season, and he still had a good fantasy season for him.
If you were picking a quarterback to start this season with, you would pick Purdy over Stafford to go into this season.
I just like sturdy. Purdy's just young.
Sturdy Purdy. Sturdy Purdy. I like that.
Well, there you go. Where Stafford is not so sturdy anymore.
Yeah. So 8 Daniels, Jaden Daniels, who had the best rookie quarterback season I've ever seen. 7 is Herbert, who I expect to be in the top 5 when this season's over on this list. 6, Mayfield. I fucking love Mayfield there. I think you can make an argument to put him 5th where we have Hurts. But Mayfield at 6, I love that. He's like, if we were doing tiers, he'd be like tier 2, right? 5, Jalen Hurts. Number 4.
This is where it gets tremendously hard.
We got Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson. That's what we're talking about here.
This gets tremendously hard. This because you can interchange these 4 names, and I wouldn't die on any hill, man.
You can make an argument for anyone.
If you said to me, I have Mahomes right here at 4, I wouldn't fight you. If you felt that way, I would be like, between Josh Allen and Joe Burrow and fucking.
It's funny that you say that, Brandon, because Patrick Mahomes should be 4 on this list.
Right now, yeah, I think so. At this juncture of all their careers, I agree.
I mean, listen, it's stupid because he keeps going to Super Bowls and mostly winning Super Bowls. But if I was picking a quarterback of those 4 right now to start a franchise with, I'm taking the other 3 ahead of Patrick Mahomes. I just am.
I think Mahomes, even while winning Super Bowls, he had that big year, and he's an incredible player, guys, but he had that big year where he was just godly, outlandish. I mean, 5,000 yards and 50-plus touchdowns, guys. That's a season for the books. Top 5 season by a quarterback in the NFL all time. I think that for sure. Lately, man, and it was a lot after the departure of Tyreek Hill, but his statistical seasons haven't really been like when you watch what Joe Burrow's doing and Josh Allen's doing with the rushing combined with the passing.
But
these guys are just doing more for their teams.
This is where it gets dumb.
They're accountable for more.
This is where it gets dumb, though, Brandon, because Joe Burrow didn't even make the playoffs last year, and Patrick Mahomes went to another Super Bowl. So it's like, are we really putting Patrick Mahomes over Joe Burrow? Like, just me playing devil's advocate.
Well, Dustin, you could ultimately say that Lamar Jackson's the best player on this list, and he's never been to a Super Bowl. And so, like, that's why I said there's a lot of arguments to be made here, man. I could defend anything.
Just the idea of putting Lamar Jackson at number 1 makes me kind of excited. Like, that sounds fun. That sounds like a fun thing to do. Like the reaction that we'll get. You're gonna disagree with
who I think is number 1. I know in my head I already know who I thought was number 1 when we started doing this.
Okay, so why don't we just say that? Right now we got Mahomes at number 4, and that's crazy to me, probably. I mean, but like you're talking about going into this season, I think these other 3 guys are ahead of him. I do. So I'm fine with Mahomes being at 4. Who's your number 1? Well, let's skip 3 and
Joe Burrow. It's
Joe Burrow is your number 1.
Joe Burrow, if he can remain healthy. It doesn't matter if he's out, he's out, and that's it, man. But when he's on the field, it's a guarantee. He's a fucking stud.
No, I understand, but
he came back, and I was so worried about that wrist, and it looked bad for the first couple weeks, and then he just torched the league. Do you remember the way this guy finished last season?
He was on my fantasy team, Brandon.
He just lit the league on fire,
Brandon, and I told you all going into that season. Don't worry about the risk. He's going to be fine. He's going to tear up the league. And I thought he would be the MVP. I picked him to be the MVP.
He doesn't statistically. He probably should.
He didn't win, but he didn't win games, Brandon.
No, he didn't.
And that's a quarterback stat, whether you like that or not.
But since that kid won a championship in college at LSU, since that season, he has just been out of this world, man. He's just not the way he's played since that college season. That senior season in college, he's just not comparable to anyone.
I appreciate the effort.
Peyton Manning-like player, man.
And I love the take, but I would entertain Lamar Jackson as number 1 over Joe Burrow right now. And Joe Burrow's 3. Joe Burrow's 3 on this list. We're putting him above Patrick Mahomes, and I think that's fair enough. He's been to a Super Bowl. We're not putting Joe Burrow 1.
See, Lamar, I was going to put Lamar at 3, man.
Well,
because Lamar, I think it does matter that, like, listen, and this is where I stand firm on my opinions, but I'm also not an idiot. The stuff that Kyle and Sean say, his inability to play his best football when it matters most, affects how I view Lamar Jackson, but he's still an amazing quarterback.
So Lamar Jackson, who just consistently gets to the playoffs, and Joe Burrow, who hasn't been there in recent years, like,
Yeah, but he went to
That
a
doesn't
Super
matter.
Bowl.
Yeah, and he played his ass off, and that offensive line was not good. And
Says
Joe
to me
Burrow,
that like he can do it, man.
yeah,
He can do it.
no doubt. But like
Joe Burrow will be back in a Super Bowl.
Lamar Jackson had like total what 5? What's up, Dante? Dante finally checking in at 2:15.
What's going on, Dante?
Good morning.
I haven't really been
We're finishing this up. Yeah. Well, there's been nothing, so there's been nothing to watch. But they're watching us, so that's cool. I can't. I gotta have Lamar and Josh Allen at 1 and 2 on this, just in terms of who I would want if I needed to win a game right now, just in terms of how I could challenge a defense, and it's because of the dual threat
but
ability.
if you're saying that, man, Mahomes has to be the answer to that
Mahomes
question.
is the number one answer to that question. Yeah, he is. That's why this is really hard. So, like Joe Burrow,
I think Joe Burrow right now, Dustin, is due for a season we haven't seen out of a quarterback since Mahomes had his 5,050 or 50 touchdown season. If Burrow stays healthy, he's going to have a season along those lines. This football team, Chase Brown is an incredible
Joe
player.
Burrow.
The two receivers are still there. They paid him. Listen, man, that
you
defense is going to be bad. It is.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But Joe Burrow is going to play better than we've seen a quarterback play in a long time.
Again, I picked him to be the MVP last year. I expect nothing but good things from Joe Burrow.
MVP this year should not surprise anyone.
Well, I don't think last year should have either. And like you said, if they had won some games, he
had the injury. He missed part of the season.
Like what, 2 games? Like I said, I had him on my fantasy team. He did not miss a lot of games last year. He played most of the season.
It was like 2 or 3, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a minimal amount of games, but it's not like that should have impacted him to that level. Like that team should have won more games. They lost games that they should have won.
Maybe he wasn't even missing.
No, yeah.
I think he started the season with
the wrist injury, but I don't
bothering him, and he played pretty poorly through the first like 2-3 weeks of the season.
He started out against the Patriots really rough.
They lost.
Yeah. Okay, so then you know what? Or if we're just going off the winning, Brandon, then Mahomes needs to be 1, like you said, and Burrow needs to be 4, and Lamar needs to be 3, and Josh Allen needs to be 2.
Yeah, I don't like going off the winning. I don't like.
I
like the way we were doing it before.
Okay,
Mahomes at 4 felt good.
But then you can't use that argument to knock Lamar Jackson back, who is honestly, he could have won MVP last year over Josh Allen. He had the best season he's ever had, and he's won 2 MVPs.
I guess I'm viewing projection.
You can't use the argument for both. You can't use the same argument.
I'm using projection as well because I believe that Joe Burrow will have a better season than Lamar Jackson.
Listen,
they're two so different players, man. It's hard to compare these two because Lamar's going to get those yards running the football that Joe Burrow's never going to get.
Lamar threw for like 4,000 some yards last year. Only had 4 interceptions.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I advocate for Lamar Jackson all the fucking time.
The only thing that I will,
I'm like Lamar Jackson's biggest fan.
The only thing that I'm right there with you. But the only thing that
brutalized.
The only thing that I will entertain here is Mahomes if we're going off of you can't use the argument on both sides, Brandon. So like if we're going off the winning, we move Mahomes to 1, we put Lamar at.
No, we're not doing that.
Okay. All right. So then it's Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen as your number 1 quarterback. Because those are the 2 guys that have been the dominant quarterback statistically in the NFL, who I would pick to win a game for me because of their dual threat ability and because of how deadly they have become as passers.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, man, if the running is then Joe Burrow's not. I mean, Patrick, there's a lot.
That was the argument you made for Jalen Hurts, Brandon, to be over Baker Mayfield.
Well, and that would probably put Jalen Hurts over Joe Burrow because Joe Burrow just can't run the football.
No, it's not about that. It's just about how you stress a defense. To me,
Joe
Burrow stresses a defense.
Where's Jaden Daniels?
We
put him 8.
We had 8. Yeah. That's because he was a rookie last year. It's his second year. We got to see more from him. I mean, Daniels could end up being top 3 on this list. I could make an argument for him to be 3 on this list. I could make that argument. And by the end of the season, he could be, or he could regress. We don't know. I think we know with Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson that they're going to constantly fight for MVPs, and their teams will be in the playoffs. So, I mean, that's why these guys are 1 and 2 to me. Again, unless we want to flip, you said you don't want to do that. So Mahomes, we have
we
a 4.
we can do Joe Burrow. We can do. God, see, and I'd go, and I don't know, man. Is projection included in this?
Whatever you want, man. It's our list.
Yeah,
Whatever
I guess we have to throw Lamar at 1 just because he's basically carried. If you ask me, man, he's carried a football team for 2 years. And
Josh Allen has done the same, Brandon.
Yeah, he has as well. God, I don't know.
I think Josh Allen.
Tie, guys. We came to a conclusion.
I think Josh Allen is your number 1 guy on this list. I think he is, and I think you can
Lamar
make an argument for
Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. But I'm going to say this, and I'm going to stick to this. My projection for Joe Burrow is when the season's over. Without a doubt, the general consensus will be Joe Burrow was the best quarterback in 2025. I think everybody's.
I fucking love Joe Burrow.
It's going to be
all in.
It's going to be that defined.
Okay, so he would jump 2 spots on our list. We have him at number 3, Brandon. We have him ahead of Patrick Mahomes. It's not like we're shitting on Joe Burrow.
Listen, man. When we got to those 4, I told you it's interchangeable.
You could
make an argument for anybody being in any one of those spots, man.
Yep.
You could.
And again, Lamar Jackson, whether it's if you want to say he's just a regular season hero, I that'll get me to the playoffs and give me a shot. And maybe if you have some better coaching in the playoffs and you run the football when you should, or things like that, like things can go differently. You know, Lamar made the plays in that playoff game against the Bills to win that game. He did. I
agree.
Other guys,
I bring it up a lot. I think
other guys let him down. So again, you can work the argument all kinds of ways. But if you're talking about the 2 most threatening quarterbacks in the NFL right now, the 2 guys that you do not want to play, it's Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson to me. So I think they're 1 and 2. Mahomes is Mahomes. He knows how to win a game. He knows the time. He makes the right play.
What's crazy, man, is.
And Joe Burrow is the best thrower of the football in the NFL. Joe Burrow is the best thrower of the football in the NFL.
That conversation, yes, he is. He is.
Yeah.
He's the best pocket quarterback in the NFL.
And I think Herbert's behind him.
He's hands down. And actually, I shouldn't say pocket. He's the best, passer, because the guy
thrower of the football.
95% of his games in shotgun. But and Dustin, what's crazy is that grade. Who do I want today to win a game for me? Jaden Daniels was in that conversation last year. That's what you're talking about.
Jaden Daniels is still in that conversation right now. He is. It's just I got to see
with
it.
Those
I got to
two,
see it
with because he was just.
He stresses a defense
undefendable
to the point of breaking. Yes, I mean, like those 3 guys in particular do that better than anybody else. And Patrick Mahomes does too, because he can make plays. He just makes the right play, whether it's with his feet or with his arm or his brain. Patrick Mahomes makes the right play. That's what makes him the best quarterback, the winningest quarterback in the NFL right now. So it's like, again, it's a toss-up, honestly, between those 4. And Jaden Daniels, I think, could find his way up this list this year. But if he regresses, then I think we put him in a solid spot. Like we gave him credit for what he did, but we got to see it again. I think Caleb Williams might have a better season than Jaden Daniels this year. So these are things I'm thinking about
to expect regression is not going out on a limb.
No, it's kind of a normal thing that happens in the NFL.
We saw it with CJ Stroud.
Yeah. So I like our list, man.
And people adjust to Cliff Kingsbury more than anyone, it feels like.
Listen, we ran down the list before we got into those 4 guys, and I think it's probably better that we waited till those 4 because that took us a while to kind of dig through those weeds. But those are 4 hard names to find. If you guys like our list, don't like our list, hate our list, want us to shove our list up our ass, please comment, let us know, because we want to know. This was fun. I really at the very least, this list is interesting, Brandon. It's
what Williams said.
It's thought-provoking.
What Williams said here, man, it's kind of my sentiment. I got Joe Cool winning 8 games and having 52 touchdowns. I think he's going to have a number where numbers where you're just like, get the fuck out of here. That's ridiculous.
No doubt.
But they still,
where I
stand on the Bengals. They still lack what they need.
Listen, man, the year they went to the Super Bowl, nobody thought anything of that defense that year they went to the Super Bowl.
But the defense played well.
They did, but they played better than expected. And the offensive line played like shit. And they still got to a Super Bowl because that's how good Joe Burrow is. So you can still see something like that. But he'll be there again. I'd bank on Lamar and Josh Allen being there again before him right now, the way their respective teams look. So, I mean, again, I think it's a really good list. I don't think we disrespected anyone besides Justin Fields and JJ McCarthy, which I fully intended to do that. So
we're going to be
that's
told
good.
We're going to be told we disrespected Tua for sure.
I wanted to disrespect Tua too. Thanks for reminding me about that. We did disrespect Tua, which I wanted to do.
We were going to be told we disrespected Hurts.
Hurts at 5?
Yeah, like guaranteed.
No fucking way.
Yes, guaranteed. Guaranteed.
That's mad. That is mad respect for Jalen Hurts to put him as the 5th best quarterback in the NFL.
And people who love him, man, love him.
Listen, that's a good point. Philly fans have rallied behind their quarterback. They love their guy, and I love them for that. Chicago, you need to do the same with your quarterback. Caleb Williams deserves that from his fan base. He ain't done nothing but get his ass beat and keep playing every week and giving you everything he's got. One message I do want to leave this podcast with: get behind your fucking quarterback, Chicago. What the fuck? These teams get behind their quarterback, and guess what happens? Good things. Get behind your quarterback. Support Caleb Williams, guys.
Yeah.
He deserves it. He hasn't done anything to not earn that. Give him a chance. Root for your guy.
Dante says, ask your producer to put up your list. I missed it. Unfortunately, Dante, we just hand wrote it, but Dustin can just read it off. 32 to first. Just read real quick.
Cleveland, whoever the Cleveland quarterback is, 32. Number 31, Shuck. 30, Anthony Richardson. 29, Justin Fields, Dante. 28, JJ McCarthy. 27, Russell Wilson. 26, Aaron Rodgers. 25, Tua. 24, Sam Darnold. 23, Cam Ward, who we both think is going to have a hell of a rookie season. 22, Michael Penix. 21, Trevor Lawrence. Make or break year for that dude. 20, Geno Smith. Yeah, he's competent. It's fine. 19, Drake May. Boomer bust in my mind. Bryce Young, 18. And we both think he could jump up this list, Dante. Kyler Murray, 17, and I think he'll just stay right there for the rest of his career, Brandon, probably at 17 to 15. That's kind of where Kyler Murray's going to be. Fantasy-wise, he'll jump higher.
I think he has. I think in fantasy, he's been like QB 17 for like 3 years in a row.
I want to make clear this is not a fantasy ranking. This has nothing to do with fantasy. This is about football, okay? But I think Kyler Murray can finish better than that. He's finished as a top 10 quarterback, I believe, and he might again this year. But just in terms of being an NFL quarterback, he's a middle-of-the-pack guy. 16, Jordan Love, another middle-of-the-pack guy. 15, Stroud. He had the really up season, the really down season. We'll see where he falls. 14, Bo Nix. I think he's still got a lot to prove, but he's in one of the best situations in football. 13, Jared Goff. We expect regression without Ben Johnson. I think the Lions do too. 12, we have Caleb Williams. It's admittedly a little biased, but like we're expecting big things from Caleb, Dante. I bet you are too. 11, we got Dak. 10, we got Stafford. And 9, we got Purdy. I did a last-minute switch. I went back as I was reading back the list. I switched Purdy and put him to 9, Stafford to 10. 8, Jaden Daniels. 7, Justin Herbert, who I believe is in for a top 5 quarterback season. I think the Chargers win that division. I'm going to go ahead and give a sneak peek of my division. I think the Chargers win that division. But 6, Baker Mayfield. 5, Jalen Hurts, who apparently we're disrespecting, Brandon says, by having him as the 5th best quarterback in the fucking NFL.
I said we're going to be told that. I didn't say. Don't make that my statement.
I got to say out loud that anyone who says we're disrespecting Jalen Hurts by having him as the number 5 quarterback in the NFL is insane. That's great. Look at the guys in front of him. You're going to put him above Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, or Josh Allen? No, you're not. You're not. I guess some people might put him above Lamar because. Yeah. So 4 was Mahomes, 3 was Joe Burrow, 2 was Lamar, 1 was Josh Allen. That's our list. After a lot of consternation and bickering and back and forth, that's the list we fell on, guys. Organically just came up with it. We literally didn't have the quarterbacks listed in front of us until we were at like 12. Brandon announced that. It's like I finally figured out how to pull up a list of quarterbacks. In my hand. And my handwritten list. This is the production level on the bare minimum, ladies and gentlemen. Great list. I dropped Darnold off the list completely. Just have a blank space at 24.
Seahawks. Just says Seahawks.
Just no 24. It's like the 13th floor in hotels.
No, I think he's saying he'd put.
No,
him,
yeah, he'd put him.
I think I do think he's a little high. I don't know though, man. He had a great year. Maybe he's able to.
Honestly, you're gonna put JJ McCarthy in front of him, Russell Wilson in front of him, Aaron Rodgers in front of him, Tua in front of him. Or listen to the names that we're saying here. Any of those guys you're putting in front of Sam Darnold?
After the season he had, no. And he was a top 3 pick in the NFL draft, man. He's got an arm. The dude has an arm.
He's got a howitzer for an arm, yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
I think he's right where he needs to be.
If he can maintain what he did in Minnesota throughout his career, man, he's the next Geno Smith. And that's where it happens in Seattle.
Dante, we love you, man. Thanks for enjoying that and liking the list. It says it's a great list. Great list, the best list. Yep, KOC product.
It's going to be huge.
It's a huge list. You've never seen a list like this before. Purple Jesus checking in the witching hour, real late in the game. We are finishing up. Brandon, we got to get the fuck out of here. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
This was a jam-packed show, and we could not pack enough jam into it. 3 hours. Goddamn. It's 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I told you it was loaded. I think I put too much in there.
That's what she said.
Nice. All right, guys. We love you. Appreciate you. Hit that like. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. We'll be back, obviously, on
Thanks, Burble.
Saturday. Kyle and Sean will be doing the Northside 9.
And we got other shows. Let's
check them out.
Yeah. We got other shows. We're here. Be subscribed. Hit the notification bell. You'll see us. All right, Purple Jesus. Can't wait. All right. Love you guys. Bear down. Bare minimum. 4-star Chicago Sports. Death Row Records.
This is the greatest episode ever. It's the greatest episode.
Are you going to end the stream or am I doing it?
This is the #1 episode. I thought you were.